rhythm. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.
Woo! What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys, and of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family, and of course, hop in the Discord, link for that's in the description box down below. So as we get rolling here tonight, guys, there are some people, of course, that we always have to shout out, as we jump into today's stream.
Yeah, guys, it's been like a month stream, right? It's been a month before you. It's been a while since we've been doing our thing. I see some people saying, "Glad to see you back here, MCF." Hey, listen, we've been jumping in and out once a month or so. I think last time we did it was about 2 weeks ago, before training camp. Now we're 2 weeks in. Pads finally are on. Hitting going is starting to happen. And we got a lot of news, salary cap, contracts, extensions, injuries. And of course, training camp updates to this roster and squad. So we're going to talk about all that today. Get you caught up on the last 2 weeks and more. Specifically, the future of this team. And hear from you guys, of course, as well. But before we do all that, baby, like you were saying, you handle this part. I get a couple things. Shout out those that represent the boards for us here. Like our sponsor of the quarter. Plus, basically, the man Mark Hovsepian.
A big mahalo.
Yes.
To Mr. Hovsepian.
All the way from Hawaii. But we got others repping the board. Mr. Hovsepian is repping it with 28 points on the Stream Boss. You'll see that in a minute. But we got Cat 52 repping it as our Cash App King.
Ooh, thank you, Cat 52.
Yes.
And, of course, you have to shout out the man, always staying skeptical fan, as our membership gifting king.
Correct. He is the king of the gifting side of things. He gave it 2 last quarter. This quarter, nobody has gifted a membership. You have to be in the membership to gift it. So,
Yeah.
I know we'll have the exclamation point information dropping down there for you guys, but a lot of ways to getting into that. But there's also leaders. This month, as you can see right above, the leader for this quarter is the man, John Luna. Slight lead over people like Aussie, Marco Hovsepian, and others. But he is the current leader, Mr. John Luna. He may be making a return here on the boards here, even though he's a Houston Texan fan. So shout outs to the man, Mr. John Luna, who's in first place on the overall board. Nobody on the gifting board, of course. Marco Hovsepian, 28 points in the Stream Boss, and then we have the Cash App King is Cat 52. But who's the leader? There is a leader, and it was Jason Renfro, Jet Lee 44. But literally 2 days ago, we had a drop in there, and it was from the one and only skeptical fan, always staying skeptical. He is the leader of the Cash App. He dropped 12 on it. And a go Cowboys. Shout outs to the man staying skeptical fan. He is in first place right now with basically 12
Yeah.
points. I say 12 points. 12 on the Cash App board. Others to shout out, like Darren Posey, A. Lavelle, Gerald Swain. Or she too, MCW. We also had John Syme. We have Roy Strasner, JD from DC, William Burney, NBN Boogie, who jumped in there. So thank you guys. That was just the last 2 weeks. Those in the membership. I know we had another skeptical fan thanks drop. So thank you guys
That's
for
right.
still supporting us and dropping the love and staying tuned in here for the season that's coming up. For everybody, we had a lot of changes in our schedule, our work schedule. So things changed, and we are doing these live streams a little less. Well, you guys, if you check our shorts section, you'll see everything you need there for our Dallas Cowboys that you need to know for this upcoming 2025 season, visually speaking. Now we're going to hear it through our speaking words and your typed words, so we can discuss this team, all the ups and downs, and the good, bad, and the ugly.
That's
Now,
right.
I will get a raffle. I'm sorry, a goal ready, because we have to talk about that too. There's a goal that I'll have set here in a moment. It's not up there now, but I do want to say the different ways of dropping the love on here on MCF. My Cowboys family. There's of course the super chats. You can drop it there. You see at the bottom of your screen on your chat there. There's a little $sign that you can hit that. Drop a super chat that goes on the board on our overall leaderboard. You also have the thanks button. Like I just said, Skeptical Fan did drop a thanks in the last 2 weeks, so we added that to the list, to the totals. And then we also have, of course, jumping in and into the membership side of things, which is very helpful to the channel, and extra perks for you guys, like maybe even winning a sewn and stitched jersey of your choice.
That's right.
And then there's if you're in the membership, you can gift memberships, which hasn't happened in like 3 months. But you still can gift memberships if you are in the membership. So those are the 4 ways through YouTube. Maybe one of the 4 ways, I'll call it the after dark, MCF after dark way, the 4 ways outside of YouTube.
You have, of course, the Cash App money sign My Cowboys Family. You have the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family. The regular PayPal link. And last but not least, that Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat would.
Yeah. And, we also, again, I want to make sure as you're talking, I'm going to put up a goal, I guess you could say, so we can try to hit that. I know that right now. Let me see. I have to start another goal here, so I will get it going, and we'll set it up again. It's going to be 20 teal super chats, what we always do here. And if you hit the goal, everybody who helped hit that goal, everybody who dropped 5 or more in the super chat tonight, if we hit the goal, automatically gets put into I guess you could say, a pre-raffle for the big raffle, which is going to be basically at the September.
Yeah.
September 1st. And you can see, I think it's up now, so you should see the goal be available and active now. But I do want to say it only counts if we all hit the goal, basically. So, I just wanted to shout that part out. And that also brings me to, if we do hit the goal, every name in there, sometimes like people like John Luna or Marco Seppian, they give their raffle entry and say to somebody else. So, that's a chance for somebody to actually get into the big raffle, which is this one right here, the Star and Over Everything level membership raffle. Now, this is weekly. It is quarterly now. But it is anybody in that star level raffle gets anybody in the star level membership gets 1 raffle entry. Anybody in the Over Everything, which is no one right now, gets 2 raffle entries to win one of these sewn and stitched jerseys. And we have Overshown number 0 available. So no, you can't get that till after he comes back. That has to be after like Thanksgiving. So if you want Overshown and repping him early, this is the place. So yes, this is monthly, but it's quarterly raffle, jersey raffle. Star level gets 1, Over Everything gets 2. The weekly winners, which is Marco Seppian, he's the quarterly winner, gets also a bonus entry. And again, the 4 names we pull out of our raffle, which you'll see here live sometime probably beginning of September, end of August, beginning of September, we'll do that raffle. For those times that we hit the bullseye, the goal, tonight we'll have to hit 20 of them. And if you get all 20 people, will be in that raffle. We'll pick 4 names, 4 lucky people we put into this big raffle sometime in the beginning of September before the season kicks off. Around when the season kicks off, we'll see a big winner here. Like I said, 2 in the
what a great way to kick off the season.
Yeah, 2 in the levels, 1 in the winning side, and then 4 when it comes to the hitting that goal. I think we hit the goal twice in 3 months. So there's not many names. There's a lot of opportunities. So hey, Just wanted to make sure, it's been a while. We get caught up on all that good stuff. Now, as we move on, baby, I think I'm done with my side, except for the nightly shoutouts. And again, we do the nightly shoutouts to everybody in the house, but also specifically those in the top shelf memberships, like the Star and Over Everything, specifically Star membership level, Aussie, and John Luna. Thank you both. And don't forget, A Lavelle, Top Dog Bullies, Dwayne
Yes.
Broussard, and
Justin Quarles, the
Justin
Q
Quarles, the
man.
Q Man. Those three are in the silver level for the Fan Fridays that we missed. So now I'll shut up, baby. You handle it. Hit up a couple questions, guys. We do have a poll question in there. We have a goal available, and we're gonna break it all down for you in a minute. But baby, I want you kind of to go through the chat, give some shout outs, maybe touch on a couple comments or
Yeah, I
thoughts,
mean
and
the
let's keep it
Cowboys
rolling.
definitely know how to stay in the headlines. I'll give them that. So Aztec Aguilar 04, what's up? Thanks for being with us here tonight. We have the Manti Church saying I miss my family. Hey, missed you guys here too. Definitely ready to talk some football. This team has definitely surprised me. And had some unexpected situations, and then a few situations unfortunately, a little too familiar for us, isn't it? So, Texas Twister, what's up? Saying, salute MCF. Been waiting for your content. Have a blessed night. Thanks for hanging with us here. Spoony Dog, what's up with you? We have the big Ron Bowski. What's up? Making some little Micah jokes there. Super Queen and King, hello and hi. Little Dallas Cowboy, much love. We have Jared Jones himself, who has some splaining to do. Freedom First, looks like you were first. Shout out to you. Of course, MCF After Dark. Well, you already know. If you know, you know. So, and yes, obviously, some of the bigger points to discuss here, especially today, with Micah Parsons being so recently in the news, that kind of goes into the poll question that we have up, which is, what are your thoughts surrounding Jerry Jones' handling of Micah Parsons' contract and the trade request? So make sure to let us know your thoughts. I'm not gonna spoil mine because I'll save it for when Mr. MCF is here, because as always, we don't tell each other what we vote for on the poll until we're actually live here on stream so that we can, kind of see if we ended up thinking the same things or thinking something a little differently here when it comes to the poll. So, I will say I am surprised at the poll offering so far, the way it's pretty evenly split between sign him and just trade him away. So, what's up, John Luna? Much love to Mr. John Luna in the house. From Moani saying it's crazy with the Joneses. That's probably it. Yes. And that's why I said a few things, definitely don't change around these parts, especially with our current front office and the way they like to handle their business. And that's not just in the Micah regard. I know we obviously have to quickly touch base on a few other moves the Cowboys have made in the last 2-3 weeks or so. And of course, on top of that, the Trayvon Diggs situation and how that all ended up working out now that training camp has, officially started. So with that said, though, thank you so much to everybody here chilling with us. And yeah, also let us know how you're feeling so far now that it's been, 2 weeks of training camp or so, and Schottenheimer has been able to show
Tell us
us what
culture.
he's got, right? Yeah.
Listen, hey, by the way, I want to say I see him, the man, John Luna in the house. Much love. I had a little conversation with him in the comment section earlier in one of our videos. Big shout out to him. If you look in our description, you'll see a little shout out to one of his buddies that passed, his friend. So you can always help out that situation, and it's all in the description.
Yes. So huge shout out there. And yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
have to be honest, like I said, Schottenheimer's energy surprised me. It's another one of the things that kind of, like I said, it was unexpected. I guess I'll put it that way. But at the same time, the way I kind of see it, he's got nothing to lose.
Well,
So
he does come in here with no expectation, very low expectations, I would say. But
exactly.
I'll give you my thoughts on these things too, and we'll give all our thoughts. Hopefully, you guys can speak your thoughts on things too. Now, and we did the shout outs. Everything is done. I do want, and that's why I was saying the John Luna. Not only that there, but he's also the leader currently by a hair, by a little bit, in first place. We will crown a champion soon, and see if John Luna had it for 6 months.
I know.
It felt like, and then Mark Hopesepian took it for the last quarter. We'll see what happens. Now, Seabass in the house. Hell yeah.
All right, man. What's up, Seabass?
Much love to you, brother.
Baby. Let's go ahead and, start talking. I almost said Dallas Cowboy football, but I know there's a few Dallas Cowboy adjacent things that we want to touch on first. Or are we
No,
diving straight into the
I mean, it's all
Cowboys?
Cowboys. It's all Cowboys. We don't have
Well,
time for
that's
these
what I
other
love to hear.
teams. We don't have time for these other teams. First and foremost, we left you guys. It was 2 Sundays ago. It was the day before. It was well, basically the
Yeah.
Cowboys already had left.
It was the night before Christmas.
It was not before the check-in, the official check-in, and the Cowboys. That following day after we did our live stream, the Cowboys, of course, have their press conference, their opening press conference of the year. And you guys gonna love my new Cowboys clown show bullshit because, yeah, training camp. It's Jerry Jones clown show. It's the circus is in town, and I'll explain why. There's the circus people. Now they were front and center on this, an Oxnard for the press conference. Jerry Jones admitted there were moments where he thought about stepping away from the general manager duties, which we always just, that would be a dream come true for every Cowboy fan. Unfortunately, though, he said it was not for very long. Quote, small fractions of seconds. So he remains committed to winning a Super Bowl, but he knows he's older. And he said, quote, I'm living for now. Then he gave the middle finger in some comment. He gave a middle finger to people. I don't know what it was. It was context. Was Jerry Jones was asked how he felt not being nominated for his role on Landman. So, and then again, his response is, again, he just said his best improvised scene was with John Hamm, did not make the air. So he gave it a middle finger, basically, to that whole situation. I don't know. Stephen Jones suggested that the Cowboys, there's the other clown, his son, Stephen Jones, suggested that the team has started extension talks with people like Tyler Smith. But we don't have a deal yet on him. And again, we'll talk about other deals that were either done or not done yet.
I know.
Before this camp started, and we'll talk about the injury to Guyton, the Cowboys wanted to see more from Tyler Guyton and more from Mozzie Smith. Oh, boy. The Joneses also said that the running back battle will be determined when the pads come on, which was just a couple days ago. The running back battle, we'll talk about that, is heating up. He said that basically Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, and Jaden Blue were the optimistic choices there. So Jaden Blue, fan favorite there, rookie. Brian Schottenheimer, you got to bring him on board here. Scotty, he was also in this press conference, and he spoke about Cavante Turpin and his arrest. They spoke through a lot of things. According to Shotty, he said that Turpin, quote, knows he needs to be better, but won't go into specifics. But he did communicate that his charges are unacceptable behavior. So Cavante got a little admonishment there from the Cowboys coach, and we'll see how that goes. Now we're going to get to more of the situation when it comes to the players, specifically Trayvon Diggs. Now, Trayvon Diggs was they asked Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones about Trayvon Diggs addressing that de-escalation clause. We were on live last year, and the Cowboys mentioned that they were going to take the $500,000 out of his base salary. We talked about it in detail. If you missed it, go back to the 2-week-old stream. You get caught up there. But yeah, that de-escalation, losing $500,000, obviously rubbed Trayvon Diggs the wrong way. But too bad. That's in his contract, in every player's contract. And and of course, they were asked for this about the first time about taking the money away from Trayvon Diggs for not working out around the team. And basically, they're making clear that the team wants to see more from Trayvon Diggs as a leader, not just as another player. They're paying him big bucks. They want to see him there all the time, and they want to see him leading. They don't care if he's in Miami rehabbing with his brother. They want to see him with the Cowboy trainers and the team as a leader, showing the other players leadership. He's not doing that. So Jerry Jones said, quote, we expect a player like Trayvon Diggs to be here all the time. We expect him to be leading. That's not new. You've got to have some leadership about you. Stephen Jones said, quote, when Trayvon decided to train in South Florida, he knew what the consequences would be. Now, again, they want him at the facility this offseason, quote, from Jerry Jones, quote, Trayvon Diggs, well, he didn't earn it. He didn't come in. That's in his contract. The bottom line is that these are contractual things. So basically, this front office wants to see more from a guy who they consider a star cornerback. They're paying him star cornerback money, and he's not showing leadership, to the team during his rehab. We know he had issues with the rehab last year, and they were critical of him there as well. So again, front office hard on Trayvon, and even a shot. You can say this is even a shot at Trayvon Diggs and Terrence Steele. When Jerry Jones is asked Why the cow? Oh, shit. Let me stop for a second. Because this is a big one I'm going to say, but not as big as Mr. John Luna kicking off the month of August with the 5 on it. The $5 holla. Mr. John Luna kicking it off. What did the man say as he hits the first bullseye?
He said, just to get things started, fun fact. My son and his wife had a beautiful baby girl.
Wow.
Penelope Elizabeth Luna.
That is beautiful.
August 2nd, 2025, 6 pounds, 13 ounces, 19 inches.
Ooh, man, that's a
Congratulations, Mr. Luna. Mr. Grandpa.
yeah,
I should
Grandpa
say.
Luna. Much love. I'd say I really, really hope
Yes.
that she's a Cowboy fan. But we know
Hey,
probably
many,
Houston.
many blessings
Yeah, of
on
course,
mom,
of course.
dad, baby.
Yes.
Glad to see that everyone's doing well, and congratulations again,
Yes. Congrats
Mr.
to
Luna.
Mr. John Luna, Grandpa, and of course, son Luna there. Now Dad Luna now as well. So congrats to him, his wife, and your entire family, Mr. John Luna. So awesome to hear. And thank you for kicking it off. Which, by the way, Marco Seppi into 23 Michael Jordan points on the stream, boss. And now we hit one on the goal. So we're 1 down, 19 to go.
That's right. Hey, that explains why we're seeing Mr. Luna at these late night hours for him. He's up with the baby.
Oh.
Making a joke.
Oh, I thought he really was. I'm like, uh-oh. I remember those days. Now my daughter is literally a week away from going to college. So, and I cherish, as John Luna knows, you cherish those days. Now he's got to tell his son, cherish these days, and we know that when you do cherish them, it's the best reward you can get back from that. So, congratulations once again to the man, John Luna. Now, I want to get back to this real quick.
Yeah.
Because Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, they were asked by reporters why did we get deals done early with guys like Trayvon Diggs, guys like Michael Gallup, guys like Terrence Steele, but we didn't get deals done early with guys like CeeDee Lamb, with guys like Dak Prescott, with guys like Micah Parsons. We'll talk about him in a minute.
Yeah, like, what's the difference?
So why are these star players getting different treatment than the players that are a little bit lesser under the radar, I would say? I mean, they could have got Trayvon Diggs earlier and cheaper. Terrence Steele came off a torn ACL. We signed him. That's why they signed those guys. Why did we sign a guy like Michael Gallup? Because he came off a torn ACL. Cheap deals. Jones is listening. Good player, rare injuries. They like to wait till the last second and pay a lot more than they should. They overpay. It's not that the players want more. It's that the Joneses continuously overpay. And then they overpay on good deals, on early deals with guys that don't have to overpay and do an early deal with that just had torn ACLs. Like Michael Gallup, like Terrence Steele. Well, you know what? Jerry Jones responded to those comments. He was not happy with that. He said, quote, frankly, should we have waited on Trayvon Diggs and Terrence Steele? So he's kind of shooting back at the press saying, so you're telling me we should have waited on those deals then, right? So then all the shit I'm giving them is cool. Is basically what he's saying. So while I agree you got to get some deals done early, why not get it on your actual superstars? Not on the walking wounded, coming off of ACL tears. Now, I know that's not Trayvon Diggs, but if we could have signed him a year earlier, and I've said that on these videos, you go back a couple of years ago, you say, I could sign him now, we could have got him for $17 million or whatever. Now we're paying him $20 whatever million because the Cowboys always wait till the last second. So Jerry Jones got a little bit pissy there from that comment there. People basically challenging his decisions on why we sign certain guys early and other guys we wait way late. So before I get back to this clown show here, I do want to actually let me clear these two fools out the way and the clown show, the circus. I do want to touch on Trayvon Diggs himself. He currently, this is just a couple days ago, an update on his injury situation. Of course, as you guys are going to hear, I called every single PUP list guy, every pub. I called every single one. I did that 2 days before they announced it. And if you go back 2 weeks ago, you'll hear me say these words. But Trayvon Diggs, of course, on the PUP list. And that was already announced. But he gave an update a couple days ago that gives the update of the expectation of when he's going to return. And he's saying he should be returning to the field in September. So, again, he might not make it back for the first game of the year on September 4th against the Eagles. But according to Trayvon Diggs and all reports, he's ahead of schedule in his rehab and hopes to be on the field playing sometime in the month of September. It might be week 2, might be week 3, probably not week 1. But Trayvon Diggs told this to Clarence Hill of the Dallas Morning News. He said that he will not be. He said basically when this training camp is over, he will not be or not need to be placed on that reserve physically unable to perform list.
Yeah.
Because again, if he was, he'd be out 4 games no matter what. That's the whole month of September.
Yeah.
He's saying he'll play in September, so he has to be on the 53-man roster. And he says he'll be good for that. He'll be good for the 53-man roster. He will not miss 4 games. He might miss 1, maybe 2, but he's not going to miss 4 is what he's claiming. He is saying it. And again, that would automatically, if he was on this physically unable to perform list for the season starting, after cuts, then he'd have to be ineligible for 4 weeks. Which again, let me reiterate, he said he's fine. He'll be ready to go. He's ahead of schedule, and he'll be ready to go sometime in the month of September. The other thing he said was about the $500,000 de-escalation that they took away from him. Basically, he was getting $9 million. Now he's getting $8.5 million this year on the base salary. This is what Trayvon Diggs said, quote, "They, as in Jerry Jones, Stevie Jones, and the Cowboy front office, they knew where I was rehabbing at. Was in full communication with the therapist the whole step of the way. And I am not behind on my recovery process," end quote. Now, again, this was said, and we know the reasons why the Cowboys are upset, not because he wasn't keeping contact with them. The Cowboys front office were not upset because he was keeping contact. They were not upset because he was, in communication. He was talking to their therapist, or, for the physical therapist guys. That's not the problem. The Cowboys wanted him there so the other players could see him be a leader. And the Cowboys paying him that money expect that. And if you don't do that, you lose that leadership money, which is basically it's $500,000 is leadership money.
Yeah,
think of it like that.
Don't have a problem with him doing the bulk of his rehab somewhere else. But at the end,
they do. But
okay, what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, he still has to show up for whatever the minimum required amount is when it comes to his contract, and he didn't do that. So even though he communicated where he was going to be, and even though they supposedly said it was okay, like, they can say whatever they want, but that's still not what's in the contract.
Right. Contractually, Trayvon Diggs has to be at the facility. Contractually, he has to be meeting with the physical therapist there, not on the phone.
Obviously, the way he sees it, though, is because the Cowboys told him, hey, you're good, he took that like as a verbal confirmation of like, okay, they're not going to push to enact this clause, when obviously that wasn't the case.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, it's just like, I would love to see Trayvon Diggs, do great and do everything right and say, he didn't do anything wrong.
I have no idea why Jerry plays these games, but
Jerry is a fucking wacky.
Here we are. It sucks because the players obviously can't really trust everything the front office says either.
Right. Well, we're gonna get to it because again, that's just iceberg tipping right here. So that's tip of the iceberg. Let me keep it rolling. Any other comments on Trayvon Diggs?
It's not so much on Trayvon, but just Seabass saying in general, like, my Cowboys got to show me something too. Like, and I'm sure that's how both sides kind of felt. You know what I mean? Honestly, it sounds like this was just a shitty move by the front office, but at the same time, like I said, those are the terms of the contract, and Trayvon should have known better.
I hear you. I disagree though, and the reason I agree with you. Hold on, let me rephrase that. Yeah. I agree with this. I am Mr. By the way, shout out to the man Calvin Richard on the board. The second hit on that bullseye. Big shout out to him. Oh, and John Luna said, "Hold up, another raffle entry for him. If we hit the 20, I want to say this last time for those that dropped. I know Calvin Richard, John Luna, a couple others that were in that they're hitting the number. I think we got to 14." And we did not hit the last goal. So those names did not count. But right now we're 3 out of 20. So we're 17 away for that goal. Now, Calvin Richard with the 5 on it. John Luna with the 5 on it. And I did want to just say one last thing. I usually will be very sympathetic to the players.
Yeah.
I am very anti-Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones in front office. But it's in the contract. This is just the way it is. You're paid to be a leader. You lose $500,000 if you're not going to be there in person as a leader. And I agree with the Joneses.
I know. I just still think it's fucked up that they verbally told him, hey, it's cool. Because no offense.
Did they say it's cool, though? I don't know if they said it was cool.
Trayvon is saying that, hey, like, he told them everything about it. that he said, that he basically he was up front. He told them what he was
We
going
don't
to
know.
do,
We don't know
and
what
the
they said
Cowboys
him
said
though. We don't
that's
know.
fine. Now the thing
They
is
might simply
that
want you in here, and you never came.
we
Yeah.
again, the Cowboys didn't refute that statement by him.
Well,
So I'm not trying to split hairs here or whatever. I'm just saying that that's still messed up that the Joneses did that, but like I said, and I agree with you, still doesn't somehow absolve Trayvon Diggs. Kind of goes exactly into what Calvin Richards and John Luna both said. So Calvin Richards with his $5 holler said, "When I was in the military, I wonder if they wanted me to be somewhere and I said, no thanks, I'm going to be over here. How would that have worked?"
exactly. 100% agree. It's just following the fucking rules. And I know you're saying like he's in communication with them. I'm sorry if they refuted. We don't know what happened in the phone call. That's Trayvon Diggs aside. But I'm telling you this. I guarantee you, with this thing hanging in the balance, there's no way. It's not like he didn't know. He knew the contract. He knew the rules. Jones said, "We need you back here." He said, I'm doing my stuff here. I'll keep in touch with the physical trainer." And he just kept doing his thing. That's it. Let's not make it bigger than it is. The Joneses are trying to screw him out of it. Listen, they're cheap. They're idiots. The Joneses. I'm against them 99% of the time. But this time, Trayvon Diggs looked for an issue here when he knows he needs to be a leader, not chilling in Miami with his brother while his brother's, doing Molly on boats. And he's over there chilling. And listen, chilling, I mean rehabbing. I know he's doing it right. That's not what the Cowboys don't give a fuck about that. They don't want to see him do it right in Miami. They want to see him do it right in Big D around the other motherfucking cornerbacks, around the other young players on this defense, so they can see what a leader's supposed to look like. Trayvon Diggs not showing that, and I agree with the Joneses on this one.
I'm going to touch on tiny thing about Trayvon Diggs' personal life that might be relevant here. But before I do that, Mr. John Luna said with his $5 holler, "Mr. MCF, you called this Micah situation in 2023 during y'all's live stream.
Yep.
That Cowboy Packer playoff game, no kidding."
What you remember what I said? You remember what I said was going to happen? The tags, they weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
Watch the trade coming. I'm just saying, I felt this, and I feel like I'm still not changing. We'll talk about more.
Nostradamus.
I'm just saying, like, the Cowboys, literally, the writing's on the wall. This is the way they play their games. And the worst part about it is that they think they actually have the upper hand here in the sense of Micah. They really don't.
Yeah.
The only upper hand we have is trading.
Motor City, what's up?
Motor in the house. So after
Super
dark
quick,
style.
Super quick.
And he's not going to Detroit, goddammit.
The last thing I'm going to say here as far as the Trayvon thing, guys, he had a little summer fling with a recently single Cardi B.
You always know the behind the scenes, like, stuff, the drama stuff behind the scenes. So tell him.
Because the big thing is he was rehabbing in Miami, right?
Right.
Like, okay, so
who was there?
His brother, Cardi B.
His brother Molly,
and yes, his brother was there. Like, that's all I'm trying to say is that there might have been other contributing factors to why he maybe didn't want to go to Dallas.
Maybe he's not a leader. How about that? And I think I'm gonna go with he's not a leader. I'm gonna say that. And I like Trayvon. He's not a leader. Deron Bland's more of a leader than he is.
Look, the Cowboys had kind of made it known during last year's season when he got hurt, and then
they did not like the way he rehabbed.
Yeah, that they didn't like the way he rehabbed, and the fact that we usually only ever hear displeasured grumblings from the front office when, regardless of whether it's true or not, the point is they're not happy. Right. So that already lets me know, like, they're not maybe going to cut you the slack that you think they're going to cut you. So I do think Trayvon thought that he was just hot shit and that, they're not going to do that to me. Like, I'm Trayvon Diggs. I'm their number one corner.
Whoops.
Like,
yeah, too bad. So sad. Now, so again, Trayvon Diggs.
Right.
I mean, any other comments real quick in there? Just skim over.
Mr. Luna, appreciate that. He said, if we reach the goal, that last drop, make it to Mr. Seabass.
Gotcha. I put it down. I got John Luna. I got Calvin Richard. And I got Seabass.
Yeah.
As the three, if we hit the goal, which again, we're 17 drops away in about an hour and a half more so.
I know.
So good luck though. We've done it before. It's got to be a steady stream or else probably not going to happen. But either way, I do appreciate that. And yes, I will put Seabass in there if we hit that goal for tonight. So anyways, now are we caught up here for now? I think so the Trayvon Diggs story, guys, that's pretty much the totality of it. Not get into it too much more because there's other bigger stories to talk about. Trayvon Diggs lost $500,000. I ain't crying about it. I understand the Joneses wanted to see him being a leader in camp. Not in camp, but in the offseason rehabbing there. I see nothing wrong with the Joneses did. It's in his contract. They usually don't pull that. They didn't do it to CeeDee Lamb. They didn't do it to Zach Martin. They did it to Trayvon Diggs because there was previous issues in the past with his rehabbing. So Now that we know that story's out, right? The Trayvon Diggs stuff came out. We know about Micah in the background. We'll talk about Micah, but injuries. What's going on with injury situations? Starting training camp, because that was the end of. And I don't know if you had anything more, but that was the end of the Joneses press conference. Now I will say Jerry spoke yesterday, but we'll get to that in a minute. That was the end of the major pre-training camp press conference. We're going back about less than 2 weeks. The Cowboys checked in. They did their physicals. And of course, like your boy MCF, if you guys watch the live stream, you heard me call 4 names out that I believe we're going to go on the physically unable to perform list for training camp. 4 names. All 4 were on the list. And that's it. So if you needed to get a little preview of things, an accurate preview, you guys listened to MCF After Dark 2 weeks ago, you would have heard this already. MCF After Dark. MCF or After Dark. I'm sure I said it on After Dark as well. But I will say Trayvon Diggs, of course, we know he is on the PUP list. He wasn't the only one. We knew that DeMarvion Overshown, number 0 now, was going to be on that list as well. I'll get back to it in a minute. But Trayvon Diggs, DeMarvion Overshown, and Josh Butler. Those 3 guys, I said, were going to be, and again, unfortunately, they're all defensive players, but Trayvon Diggs, Josh Butler, cornerbacks. But Josh Butler's more of a 5th or 6th corner.
Yeah.
But he is a needed guy, an up-and-coming guy. But he's on the PUP list. He's not gonna practice right now in training camp until they take him off that list. The same thing goes for Trayvon Diggs and, of course, DeMarvion Overshown, which will not be coming off that list. He'll be one of those guys that he'll miss the first 4 weeks of the season, and he's probably not coming back till Thanksgiving, like I had said. By the way, Josh Butler also probably not going to be on this list for this. Probably not going to get off this list by the time this regular season. So it's probably Overshown and Josh Butler will definitely be missing the first 4 games of the season. Overshown is going to miss the first 2 months of the season at least. The last guy I want to mention is a rookie, and that rookie is Mr. I keep saying his name wrong. Savon Ravel Jr. And again, he is. I personally am looking forward to him playing in this game. But I had said he will be a PUP guy, and he is. And according to all records and all signs, Trayvon Diggs and or Savon Ravel, maybe both of them, maybe just one of them, but both guys look to probably be good to go for either week 1 or not being on that 4-week list that they're out for the season. The first 4 weeks, it looks like they will be, available for the season, first week or 2 of the season. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop now. Yes. I know there's something to say. I just wanted to make sure everyone knew.
Well, the reason gave Mr. Cowboy Richard time to correct the typo, because I thought you were talking about Pickens and you were talking about Diggs, which is great. Good to know. Because originally it said Diggs and Parsons.
Diggs.
Okay, but he meant Diggs. Diggs and Parsons. Diggs and Parsons are good players. They're not leaders, though. And that's what he had to say with his $5 holler, as you were talking about some of those injuries. And honestly, I would say you're right to an extent. Micah Parsons is a different type of leader.
I agree.
You know what I mean? He's the guy who on the field will absolutely lead and take over. But yeah,
vocally,
he's not necessarily going to be a leader the same way that I would say that like Dak is.
Or CD maybe.
You see, even CD, I feel like that role, like he only just recently stepped into it this past year.
Well, I'll give you an example.
That's kind of the point. Like it took time for him to get there, but he also earned it.
Right, but he's also getting in there, right? He got there, but we don't ever see really Micah or Trayvon Diggs doing that.
Yeah, we don't.
But you know who it reminds me of?
Who?
A Hall of Famer is going to be a Hall of Famer, Zach Martin. Zach Martin never once was vocal until this final year, and he was a leader by showing it on the field.
Yeah.
He's, you know what I'm saying? So, I say that, Trayvon Diggs, in Trayvon Diggs' kind of vision, he's not kind of the guy showing it on the field because he's been injured the last basically 2 years. But Micah has shown it on the field, and he shows it with his effort and energy like the way Zach Martin did. So I kind of agree with you on this one, baby. That I think Micah has leadership qualities, but on the field in his play, I think Trayvon does not.
If it wasn't for some of this contractual shenanigans, I feel like by next year, I think you would have seen Micah as more like a fully emerged leader. I have to be honest.
Now it's
when you're doing what you're doing with him, doesn't exactly inspire leadership. Just throwing that out there. And real quick, Karamwani, yes, absolutely. When we heard about Tyler Guyton,
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, we're gonna discuss that. We're getting to them, but I do want to say this. When I'm gonna get to the rookies here for a moment because
okay.
I want to stick with that safety. And I know I keep having trouble with his name, Savon Ravel Jr. First, go ahead and hit up Calvin Richard, and there's 5 on it. Where are we on the bullseye here, baby?
We are 5 out of
Five,
20. So
five
there you
on it,
go.
right? So we're 15 away from that goal. What did the man say?
Way to go. Appreciate that. But Calvin Richards said, I know that from experience in the military. We had guys that were great soldiers, but they weren't leaders.
Mm.
And that's what I mean. Sometimes leadership does require different skills that,
Mm.
you know, maybe you don't necessarily have, even if you're really, really good at whatever it is you're doing or
Well, my
executing or
question
whatever it is.
for Calvin Richard and Seabass who
Yeah,
attests to that as
Seabass
well.
backing that up
But
again.
my question is, could a leader also be somebody? Because I'm used to leaders being vocal and then showing you as well. But can a leader also show on the battlefield? Can he show without really saying much? I think they could do that too. There's a way of leading that. I think Zach Martin did that. I think Micah kind of does that. But I do agree they're not the complete package. Like neither was Zach Martin with the complete package as far as a leader, and neither is Micah Parsons. But Trayvon Diggs is far away from a leader
But I
in
still
my
feel
mind.
like that kind of falls into that category of like what he said, great
Mm,
soldier. Like someone
right.
can be a like
Well, Trayvon
just
Diggs
because
is a
you're
great
really good.
soldier, just not a good.
But that's my point. You're good at
Micah's both.
executing, and being good at that makes you by default like a good leader in that situation just because you're really good at doing that. But big picture overall, being a good leader usually means being able to do more than just that once, you know what I mean?
I
So
100% agree. No, I understand. I
so
understand. I'm
again,
curious what he means by that.
Micah comes
Someone,
alive on the field. He's probably really good at like maybe
but when you come alive on the field,
adjusting or directing some of the D
that's my
line or things like
question.
that. But he's not necessarily maybe the guy with the green dot who,
Well, that's different too, though. I know what you mean because
th-
Kendricks we had last year had the green dot, and he was setting him up, but he was not the leader. You know what I'm saying? He was Mike. Everyone follow. So my point is this: can a guy be a leader by following the way he plays without words? That's all I'm trying. A great soldier
it's got to be
is
more
one
than
thing.
that
Okay, all right, that's what I'm asking.
it's got to be more than
Okay,
that
all right, that's
because
what I'm
we have
asking.
seen great, amazing talent, executing players, all that stuff. But leadership does require something more.
I agree.
I mean, there's a reason that most of us remember Sean Lee so fondly.
Mm,
And it's not just because he was an amazing player when he wasn't,
yeah,
beat up 3 ways to Sunday.
yeah.
It was because of the way that
Great
he was a
leader.
leader and
Yeah,
shared his knowledge.
I agree. I agree. And listen, some people, have criticisms of Dak or others. I
Yeah.
do think that Dak and others lead the way that we want to see them
Yeah.
lead. The way
See, Bass, that must be kind of funny though. Like, imagine like a whole grown up, so to speak, and then you have like, I don't know, some 22-year-old kid who's like your boss. It's like, I want this one. But anyway, back to you,
Now,
baby.
listen, I want to hit up. I want to continue this thing because it's very important. These injuries are piling up, and I didn't even get to the offensive line yet. So I do want to bring up the rookie situation.
Okay.
And
We did kind of get hit by the injury stick
yeah,
quite a bit. I know I joked a few years ago, if you guys remember, here on the MCF side of things, I joked the year of the hamstring. It feels like this might be the unfortunate year of the knee.
I don't have the full list of tweaks and stuff, but I think you may have that somewhere. But
I can find it again.
yeah, you got to look for
but
that. But that's going to be more for the training camp talk.
yeah.
Those are the little bangs and bruises. But I'm talking about the major ones, the major things that really, not the ones that they miss a couple days of training camp. I'm talking about the ones that they're out for the year or worse. So, or I say not worse, but maybe out for some time, which also has happened. I'm trying to find the, we have our off-season tracker there, but of course, when you look at the draft, which I wish I can get to, there it is. You see, there's the 3rd round pick. Is there Shavon? Okay, but Savon Revel Jr. I want to go back to him because, like I said, Trayvon Diggs, DeMarvion Overshone, and Josh Butler, they're all on the PUP list, physically unable to perform because of football injuries in the NFL. On the NFI list is Savon Revel Jr. He's on the non-football injury list because even though he did get injured playing football, it was in college. It was before he was in the NFL, so it's not a non. It
counts differently.
Yeah, it counts differently. So again, like I said, Overshone and Butler, a way to go before they come back to this team. But Diggs and Revel, the rookie, the 3rd rounder, could return before camp ends. That was the initial report on the day they were put onto the PUP list, all those guys. But if you guys been watching the shorts that we upload, please watch them. Everything is there. Like if you want to know what we're talking about, you want to see what we're talking about, it is all there. I can't show them here because I don't want YouTube to like take our channel down. But the
I
point
know.
is that if you want to see these guys and how they're doing, whether it's Donovan Escarazu, whether it's Savon Ravel, Jaden Blue, a lot of these guys are on here, guys. We have a lot of video footage on them with the Dallas Cowboys and with the path to getting hit. that made me jump there for a second, but I think he got his monthly comment from Mr. Indian Boogie and
That's
on
right.
down. What did he say?
Huge shout out to you. He said, my favorite time of year. Go Cowboys.
I just realized with that he took over the board.
Oh,
it was a 1 point. It was count for 1 point. Gee, to see those monthly comments.
Hey, being a member pays off.
Can take down the board there. That's all. It was a 6. It went down to 1, and that 1 is now reset to 100. Indian Boogie kicking off our training camp recap here stream. So shout out to him taking over.
Yep.
So I have some video of Savon Ravel, on our channel. So check it out if you want to see how he looks. I'm going to tell you this, and you guys can see it. When you guys watch it, you'll see, to me, he's still a little limpy, a little gimpy out there when he's running down the field. So again, it's something to keep an eye on.
Look
not
as good as maybe you expected.
What everyone's saying, Trayvon Diggs and him will be back probably before camp ends. To me, it didn't look like he was really ready for that yet. Plus, being a rookie, he's going to be delayed, just not and caught up on things yet. So,
I mean, the little bit of video I saw of Trayvon, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, but we're not. Yeah, Trayvon.
I know, I'm just saying, but
he looked all right, but
he didn't look gimpy.
He looks more in front of where Ravel is at right now. So Ravel,
like he looked physically still.
Yeah, still a little like when he ran afterwards, he kind of not limping, but kind of like not running smoothly. Not even jogging smoothly. So then I know why. Well, his father said he's going to need another 6 to 8 weeks to be ready for the Cowboys. That's 2 months. That's 2 months. That's a month and a half to 2 months. And of course, we know that means that we're basically, week 2, week 3, week 4 of the season at that point. As for a rookie, keep that in mind. So, unfortunately, again, he tore his ACL while he was at East Carolina last year. It happened, I think, in September? So, again, there was a lot of speculation that, will he be fully ready to go? And as I said, his dad, again, he opened up training camp on the PUP list, or the physically unable to, non-football injury list, let me put it that way. And you see a little thing here, a little thing there, some video. You can kind of say he didn't look like he's 100, like he's heading towards 100% yet. So for what it's worth, when his dad said 6 to 8 weeks, 8 weeks right now would put us roughly at the end of when this happened. We heard this report. It came out about the end of July. So the report puts us at the end of September in 2 months. So the end of September means he's going to miss 3 weeks at the very least, maybe 4 weeks. Plus, he's a rookie. Listen, at this point, he may be one of those names that also stays and misses the first 4 weeks on the season automatically. He might have to. As a rookie, I would almost want that, to be honest with you guys, even though it'd be nice to get him back in here. Thank goodness. Number 20, a guy who I said was going to be one of those guys to watch in training camp that we really needed to show up, Kaiir Elam. Thank goodness he's looking great out there. And I say great with an asterisk. It's still training camp. But he's looking where he needs to be looking at this point of the season with our cornerback crew. And I'll talk more about him in a little bit because we need that third cornerback to save us because we got no Diggs right now and no Ravel as a rookie right now. So, again, it looks like at most the rookie's going to miss the first month of the season at the very most. But there's still a long way to go if we can draw these conclusions. But truly, and that's why I want to say this, it's really the first time frame report on Ravel Jr. and his overall recovery. So at least we know a little bit more about that now, which is good news there. Now, any comments on the injury stuff when it comes to our rookie in the chat?
Let me see here. Motor City Maniac. Thank you for that. Chromo, when he said sometime coming back in October. Alrighty.
Who?
Let me see. Saying sometime coming back in October.
Well, again, September is when he's going to be back off of the injured list, but you guys know the acclimation, plus he's a rookie. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
That means that he's going to probably come back in the middle of October, maybe Halloween. Seabass. What? Seabass is officially a member.
That's right, because NDM Boogie just gifted a membership.
Our first gifted membership, and that means NDM Boogie is in line to be the gifting champion.
Oh, thank you so much, NDM Boogie. Appreciate you. No, just a huge shout out to you, man, and congrats there, Seabass. You know what to do. Drop them now that you got them.
I know Chris Ebas used to be in our over everything level, jumping on the show and having. I know he wants to be on the show. If we had time, we definitely would do that. But there's one way to guarantee yourself on there, and that's of course the over everything
Yeah.
level. Plus, you get 2 raffle entries for that sewn and stitched jersey as well. But just a little extra fun. We don't have to do that at all. But want to make sure everyone gets as much as we can for them on this channel. And truly appreciate you all being here
That's
and doing your
right.
thing with us. So thank you. The NDM Boogie, big shout out. This is our first gifted membership in like 3 months. No joke.
That's right.
So awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. And what's up, Jeff Lee? Thanks for being here. Char Batty, BJS, nice try. I know a troll when I see one.
Jar in the house. Sharbaddy, much love to you. The After Dark. Mom. I say that because
Yes.
part-time. We'll see. Much love to Shar and everybody else watching here from the After Dark sessions. But hey, you see the draft class. We'll talk more about these guys a little bit more. I want to know what you guys have seen on some of these names, specifically guys like Tyler Booker, Escorazu there in the second round, Jaden Blue, Ravel. I just talked about him. Everybody else in this list, even Phil Maffa. I seen one highlight from him. I mean, nothing big yet on these guys. The top 4 on this list are the ones we're looking at. But anyways, let's keep it going because the top guy in our defense is without question, no diggity, no doubt, Micah Parsons.
Yep.
And that is kind of the poll question of the night. I don't know if you can give me the quick update on that because
Yeah, of course. And by the way, the big Gronkowski, yeah, the good thing is that Diggs should definitely be back before those like weeks 1 and 6 at some point in between.
yeah, he'll be back between weeks 1 and 3 is what basically because if it was 4, he missed the first.
And again, guys, make sure to vote there in the poll. We got 40 votes so far, asking you guys, what are your thoughts surrounding Jerry Jones' handling of Micah Parsons' contract and trade requests? Right? 52% of you guys so far are saying sign Micah ASAP. 40% said trade Micah ASAP. And 8% said Micah hold out.
Man. All right, so let's get it going. That's because I know what I put.
I know what I put.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's get the facts out there first.
All
I always like the facts. Just the facts, and that we got the clown show.
All right.
That's
first of all, how did this start?
Because we're in a clown show. That's how it started.
Camp and during the draft and all that, apparently, like things were peachy.
Well, once we got to that point, we got the training camp.
Mm-hmm.
We had that press conference, and then questions were asked about Micah. And I'll bring that up in a minute as I put up the clown show as well. What did Calvin Richard have to say, baby? As he gets us another step closer, where are we at now? 6 out of 20. That's 14 away. We got time.
Hey, with his $5 holler, he said, do Cowboy fans really think Jerry's not going to sign Micah? Yeah? Like,
I think that...
I before some of his comments, I thought, like, okay, we're going to do our typical Cowboy bullshit, and then we're going to sign him. But I have to be honest, with the latest happenings, I'm more surprised than ever, but I guess that's why I said I shouldn't be surprised anymore by our front office, but somehow I still am.
Hey, Calvin Richard, I think that I'm one of these people that I'm always kind of like what you said, baby, I guess is the best way of saying this. He said that, do you really think he's not going to get paid, Mike, from the Cowboys? If it was up to like me only in the sense of like what do I think in a straight up situation? Almost what you were saying, baby. Like before this little back and forth, I'd say definitely. Now, here's what I think, that the Joneses, just like Calvin Richards said, do what they fully expect to pay him, but they're going to do it in their stupid fucking Dallas Cowboy front office way. They're going to wait till week 2 of the fucking regular season, and then they give him the extension he wanted the whole time. They just got to pay a little bit more. The Cowboys, they did this with Dak last year, and CD, they waited a lot. And Zach Martin, they waited a lot. And I'm just saying, the Cowboy front office does this all the time. So, yeah, it seems like it's going to be, okay, the Joneses are in the mindset, I think, of we're going to play the game, we'll get them a little pissed off, see if we can get a couple dollars off, and then sign them like we always do. I think that's the way the Cowboys front office looks at it. I think they fuck with the wrong guy this time. I think Micah Parsons has the pull to sit out, or not to sit out, but to basically force the Cowboys' hand sooner. Either sign me or trade me. And again, one of the few guys, we saw Zach Martin do that.
Yeah.
We saw CeeDee Lamb. I mean, saying you got those guys that have the power could use it. And Micah, he's getting paid pennies to what he should be getting paid and what he should be getting paid. And I'm saying this for Micah in the near future, he for his good, he needs to get a deal last year. Because in a year or 2 or 3, Micah will be getting worse and worse and worse. It'll be a drastic downfall. Instead of a $40 million player, he'll be a $15 to $20 million player at best in 2 or 3 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If we keep going this way where he gets beaten down every game and people are triple teaming him, he's going to be broken down. It'll be 6, 7 years in the league. And entering his 8th year, you think he's going to be the same Micah he is now or even last year or the year before? Of course not.
Not happening.
Not close. So that's the way that the Joneses are almost like, they fucked around and now they're finding out. Micah needs to get paid one way or the other. I had said way back when, I think John Luna referred to this, that the Cowboys will fuck around like they always do. They will try to tag him because they want to pay $45 million or whatever it's going to be next year. They'll tag him for like 30 or 25. And Micah will sit out the season and force them to trade him at the latest by next year. It sounds like it's a year earlier. It's the Cowboys playing around. Now Micah said he wants out. We'll get through it all, though. And first, I want to make sure we talk to Mr. Calvin Richard, who dropped another 5 on it. I think we're at, 7 now?
Yes.
7 out of 20. We're 13 away from hitting that mark. Calvin Richards, if we hit the mark, he's going to have a lot of raffle entries.
That's right.
To try to get into the big raffle.
And DM Boogie, by the way, is 90 points.
Oh, shit. That's
on
right.
the stream, boss. So
That's
Calvin Richards said it would have to be something like a Herschel Walker deal. And realistically speaking, yeah, I don't see the Cowboys being able to. Well, I guess it would end up having to be a trade because no matter what, they're going to tag.
I agree 100%. Right? Well, if they have to, but 100% agree.
They're not just going to let him walk for free.
That's stupid. No, they tag him and then they deal with that from there. They have to trade him. They trade him. But the thing is that 100% agree with Calvin Richard. If the Cowboys do trade him, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. I think the Cowboys at this point to get the most bang out of their buck. It's stupid for the defense. We're going to be losing a lot without him. But if he wants out that bad, I would rather trade him next year. But you want to trade him? If you trade him this year, what can you get for him? Can you get a Herschel Walker type deal? Probably never going to happen again in the history of our in the history of the NFL. But if the Cowboys could get something major out of this, you do have to think about it. At the very least, you have to think about it, especially if the Joneses, and let me just stress it's not me or you, baby, or Calvin Richard or anybody else out there. But I think if the Cowboys have their mindset that there's no way in hell they're giving a non-quarterback over $40 million, they better fucking trade him then. Because every year you wait, the less he's going to get you in return. This is like the Herschel Walker. I bet, you get lucky, you get half of what you got for Herschel Walker at this point.
Honestly, Jerry seems the type to want to keep Micah here this year just because they kind of counted on it and a little bit of that, like, just shut the fuck up and play. You know what I mean?
Well, he's under contract, so,
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, for them on their side, I can't see us trading him unless it were really worth our while, and I can't see any team being dumb enough to actually do all that. And I agree with Seabass, too. Like, there's never in the history of football going to be another trade as big or historic as Herschel Walker, because remember...
Everyone's on the lookout for that now.
It's not even that. It's not just, like, the big trade. It's the big trade resulting in victory.
Yeah, 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Like, a big trade followed by a Super Bowl might have the chance to compete.
And I think a lot of it has to do also with the fact that the Cowboys did it with nothing, started with new everything. And, the Cowboys, with Jerry Jones out to kind of swindle a deal or something like that, and it wasn't Jerry Jones that made that deal, guys. He signed off on it. It was Jimmy Johnson. He was the general manager that made that deal, Herschel Walker.
Yeah. So little Dallas Cowboy, by the way, said you got, trade him or make him play the contract and tag twice, or sign him and stay mediocre. So
the problem is if you tag him twice, he won't even play on it. He'll sit the season out.
Yeah.
And that will be, you can't play with the money. The Cowboys love playing with that money. But the thing is, you sign him for $45 million and he's still costing you $25 million that year. You might as well tag him and let him cost you $25 million straight up. You're going to use that money anyways in 25 just to play around with it and get it down to 25, you might as well pay the tag. If you're the Cowboys, it's smart. Yeah. That's what I would do. But it's going to ruin the relationship. It's ruining it now, but it's going to completely obliterate the relationship, and he'll either sit out or be forced to play the contract. And then with first chance he can get, he could get tagged, I think, 3 times. And even 3 times, by the time, it's like 150% more. It'd still be cheaper to tag him 3 times. And again, that'll be what, year 9, entering year 10? See, his career is over at that point.
Yeah.
He's now just a good defensive player. He's DeMarcus Lawrence.
And realistically speaking, after that first tag, I can't see anybody again going so crazy as to try and
Right. He
like
loses
make
that.
a deal or make an offer. He
He
loses that leverage.
he loses that. Well, not him, but we do. The Cowboys
Yeah,
lose the
true.
leverage of that Herschel Walker Mystique deal, which are never going to happen again. But even something close to that won't happen if we wait another, 2 years, and then we want to try to pull some kind of crazy deal and get the whole kitchen sink. It ain't happening in 2 years. That's what I'm saying. Look, I want him to play on this team. I want him happy, and I want him dominating and helping. And by him dominating, everybody else dominates. That's the key of Micah Parsons. Not just his stats or his numbers; it's the team numbers that he brings. That's why I say he's like kind of a leader in that way because he helps everyone get sacks and stats and interceptions. I'm just saying that's a lot of that. Mostly is Micah Parsons. Just being honest. So, anyways, let's get back to facts.
Yeah.
And the facts here, by the way, I am keeping track of everything and much love. I know it's not showing up on that overall leaderboard, but Calvin Richard, I think, is in second place right now behind
That's
John
right.
Luna for first place on the overall board. So, saying it's getting closer. I'm talking about the overall board for the entire quarter. Now, what did they? I have all this up here. The clown show, training camp. I got the Micah Parsons in situation right there in the middle of the screen, and then the clowns, Jerry and Steven. Here's what they said during that press conference. And it didn't sound like Micah was going to get a deal, not in just the next few days, but literally the next few weeks, and we're still here. Jerry Jones said this after the news conference 2 weeks ago. Quote, "There's no anticipation at all. We're just working with what it is. It's not uncommon for me and not anything that there's a lot of angst over. He's doing a real good job of being here, and that's what's important. We are where we are, and I signed the check, period." So again, you remember Micah came there to the training camp. He was there, and I could give you a quick preview. For most of the training camp, he's been wearing his number 11 jersey, but he's been kind of taking it easy. And the pads came on, he didn't get the pads on. And then these comments later on, you'll hear about what Jerry Jones said. Micah said he came out there with the team, but he was just in a hoodie throwing the football. You can check the videos I posted today and yesterday. You'll see what Micah's doing in training camp right now because he's basically a hold in. Not getting fined. He's got a little back tweak, he says, but we know it's just him, not wanting to practice and holding out, but in camp. Anyways, after these words by Jerry Jones, it just gets worse because basically what he's trying to say there is like there's not even communication. Like they don't even care about having communication with Micah Parsons. This was 2 weeks ago, so the writing was on the fucking wall. And then for some reason, Jerry Jones decided to take a shot at Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons. Just like a random shot. So Jerry Jones says that Micah Parsons, even if they sign Micah Parsons, it doesn't mean that we'll have Micah Parsons playing because, he was hurt for 6 games last year. That's what Jerry Jones said. Guys, first off, Micah was hurt for 4 games, not 6 games. Yeah. Jerry is lying right there. That's number one. Number two, anybody get hurt. So again, when you get, I'm going to reiterate the statement with the Dak diss portion of this as well. He said, "Quote: Just because we signed Micah doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt for 6 games last year. Again, it was only 4 games." Then he continued by saying this, "Quote: I remember signing a player." He didn't say the name yet. He goes, "I remember signing this player for the highest paid at his position in the league, and he got knocked out for 2/3 of the year."
Not the subliminal.
Then he said, "Dak Prescott."
No.
So there you go. Yeah, he wanted you to. Yeah. So listen, the point is, Dak, you paid Dak the highest in your position, and he misses 2/3 of the year. How is that? I mean, he got injured, right? It could happen to anyone. And so he's saying the same thing about Micah Parsons, except he's lying about the games he missed last year. It was 4, not 6, and anyone could get hurt. That's the reason why you're not talking contracts. That's dumb, Jerry Jones. That's a clown show right there. Okay, I'm sorry. Because it got the man John Luna dropping another 5 on it, and that puts us where?
At
8 out of 20. That's 12 away. That's a Roger Staubach away.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. He said, "Hey, MCF, and all my MCF fam in the chat, I'm out.
All
Gotta
right.
get some rest. Everyone, please be safe." And this donation is for a little Cowboy fan, so I'm guessing it's little Dallas Cowboy. Thank you so much, Mr. Luna. Have a great night.
Mr.
And congrats again, Mr. Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa Luna in the house. Little granddaughter is going to be a Cowboy fan, right? I know he's going to say Houston. Houston, everything except for it's for football. All right, Mr. Luna, appreciate you. Congrats again to you and your son and your family. And truly appreciate your support here for us on this channel. I know you're not even a Cowboy fan, but
Yes.
appreciate this whole family structure we got going on. And we're going to be on a lot more, guys, probably, every week or 2 weeks until the season starts. Of course, you're going to get our preseason reaction with the cameras on and the whole 3 hours of football craziness. We're going to try to do all three of them. And of course, the regular season. I think there might be one we miss here and there, which is rare, only because it's something we cannot change. But we've made them for almost. This is our 10th season of doing this.
I know.
10 years.
Crazy.
9 years, but 10 seasons of doing this. So I'm ready. I'm strapped in, ready to go. So, yeah, with the shots here. By the way, thank you again, John Luna. We got you. And NDM Boogie, 85 points in the stream, boss. Also, still 12 away from hitting that goal. So we'll see what happens. But I got the names down. I got all everyone's numbers here. So appreciate all the help and support.
And Seabass, exactly. Like, there's no way Trayvon didn't know. It was in his contract. It's not a surprise. And if he didn't know, then why did he go out of his way to let the Cowboys know what he was doing and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he knew he had to check in with them. And it was not on the phone. They wanted it in person. So anyway, that was the thing there with the first shots fired. And that was like for some reason, Jerry Jones taking shots at Dak because using him as an example of why you shouldn't pay guys all that money because they might get injured. Now, immediately after this press conference ended, newly signed, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, J.J. Watt was signed for basically what, 40 million a year, 41 a year? I don't know, but Micah Parsons retweeted J.J. Watt's comment.
TJ.
I'm sorry. Yes. Micah, no. I'm sorry. No, let me rephrase this. T.J. Watt was the one that was signed, but J.J. Watt wrote this.
Okay.
So I apologize for that. Yes. Micah Parsons retweeted the comment from J.J. Watt. Again, his newly signed brother, his newly contract extended brother, T.J. Watt, has the most money in the league at that position, 40 million, I think. So J.J. Watt said, quote, anytime you can publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously, right before the season begins, you just got to take it. Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. So, again, Micah, this is something where it's going to be it's the Joneses looking for problems, taking shots at the injuries that Dak had, taking shots at maybe an injury Micah might have. That's why you can't sign him. This is why. Well, this also, I know, it inspires players to play hard. Say, "Fuck you, Jerry. Watch this." But it's also a situation where he's calling out Jerry Jones for taking shots at your star players. You just don't do that. So maybe the bond becomes closer in the locker room, but they hate the owner more. And I say that in the sense that some of these guys are going to head for the hills and leave this team as fast as possible. They don't want to deal with this shit. So, and you'll see, I think Micah gets to that point within a 2-week frame.
We've all been friends with that one couple that always tried to make their fights a little too public, always tried to get, you involved and drag you into the middle and stuff like that. Like, this feels like the football equivalent of that. Just throwing it out there. So, anyway, that was it. Just wanted to throw that out there real quick. By the way, since good point here, and I haven't said this in a little bit, don't forget, guys, take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. And of course, you can hop in the Discord as well. The link is not just in the description box. I dropped it in the chat as well. So
I'm also doing the membership stuff and showing that as well.
So
we got our first member.
Oh, that's a good one. The Big Runbowski said, the immaturity of Micah versus the old man's stubbornness of Jared. Only in Big D.
Only in Big D. That's why it is
Seabass said it, airing dirty laundry for ego points. Yeah, because Jerry's like, oh, but look, Micah's being a big meanie pants.
So then what happened, guys? What broke a couple days ago? Basically, the relationship between Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys is deteriorated. The news came out immediately that it deteriorated to the point where the Cowboys star pass rusher considered drastic measures, or at this point, considering drastic measures. And I'm telling you guys, this is before, this is in the morning. It could include a trade request that was said at the time. And even a declaration that he is severing his relationship with the Cowboys. And that was before anything was official. A lot of times people were saying, oh, that's bullshit. People were saying, oh, Micah was just not really being real about that. But the fact is, both sides remain and still remain far apart in contract discussions heading into the second week of training camp. And there's no negotiations, 0.0 negotiations. The key issues, what are some of the key issues? Micah spoke directly with Jerry Jones over the last couple of days in the spring, and the Cowboys believe that in these conversations there were negotiations and that they had a deal ready to basically go. But then Micah believed that the talks were just conversations, not a negotiation for a final deal, and wanted his agent to handle the negotiations. Kind of like, you get arrested and you talk to them, but you want to have your lawyer. Your lawyer has to talk to them, or you have a deal, a contract, and you want to.
Yeah.
You didn't sign it, you agree with it, but you want to make sure your lawyer looks it over. Well, the Joneses didn't like that, guys. So when his agent attempted to start these negotiations with the Joneses, they felt it was like now they're restarting new negotiations with us. So the Cowboys declined to engage and even talk to David Mulgada, which is, we heard that name before, but I think it was DeMarcus Lawrence's agent. So they're not even talking to him now that the agent has started to try to reach him over the last week. So
that's pretty fucked up.
The team is refusing to engage with Micah's agent at all, creating a tense standoff and increasing already over this increasing friction. And then that evening, I'm talking about like 2 nights ago, it broke. I mean, we're going to talk about this is the main news of the night. That's why I want you guys to vote on this. I know you have this info, baby. It's Micah's full kind of declaration about the star, about the Dallas Cowboys, about the front office, about what's going on. The first real discussion you ever really heard of Micah Parsons kind of really going at the front office and the clown show. So, I'm just going to let you know, CeeDee Lamb, after you guys are going to hear what Micah said. But CeeDee Lamb said, quote, "Never fails, dog. Just pay the man what you owe him. No need for the extracurricular," end quote. Yeah. So that's what CeeDee Lamb kind of said about this whole situation. But you know what I want to know? I want to know what Micah Parsons had to say about the situation. So I'm going to take the clown show. I'm going to keep the faces down. I'm even going to take the background down because he don't deserve that abuse. I wish I could find it. There it is. Okay.
There you go.
That's not it. That's so there it is. No, there it is.
Hey, we only have time to say fuck Philly.
Always say fuck Philly. But yeah, so what did Micah Parsons say to the fans, to the Cowboys, to the organization, to everybody, to the world?
He said, "Yeah, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisburg, PA. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. I no longer want the narratives created and spread to the media about me. I had purposely stayed quiet in the hopes of getting something done. But since there's confusion out there, let me clear some things up. I had my agent reach out to the Cowboys last offseason after my 3rd year in hopes of getting a deal done early. Unfortunately, the team did not want to start any negotiations at that point. I was okay with that, didn't complain, focused on the 2024 season. After the season, I told my agent once again to let the team know that we were open to negotiate when we met at the Combine. My agent informed me I should wait for other deals to get done because the price would only go up. But I didn't care. I just wanted to secure myself as a Cowboy long term. This was before any of the other pass rusher deals that got done this offseason. I knew I'd be leaving money on the table, but again, I was okay with that. Again, radio silence as far as my extension. In March, I met with Mr. Jones to talk about leadership, and somehow, the conversation turned into him talking contract with me. Yes, I engaged in a back and forth in regards to what I wanted from my contract, but at no point did I believe that this was supposed to be a formal negotiation. And I informed Mr. Jones after my agent would reach out thinking, this will get things done. But when my agent reached out and spoke to Adam, he was told the deal was pretty much already done. My agent, of course, told them that's not the case, and also reached out to Stephen Jones. And again, the team decided to go silent. At that point, we decided we'd allow the team to reach out to us whenever they decided that they wanted to talk. Yet still not a call, email, or text to my agent as far as starting negotiation. Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet, but again, after the repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally.
God damn.
Wow.
Basically, I paraphrase what you said, but you can hear right from Micah. Basically, man, he's not messing around, and he means business, and I don't blame him. Being honest, I don't blame him. I don't know if you had seen that before, baby, but what are your thoughts?
I feel like part of this is definitely some youthful impulsiveness. But the problem is that no matter how wrong Micah might be in a few of these things, 99.9% of what he said is absolutely true. And, paints a not great picture of what we've got going on.
With this
And the reason it does that is because it's not great. It's not trying to paint any picture because that is just how it is.
Yeah.
So
look,
I just don't understand how you fumble this relationship so badly that you can't even get the usage out of him that you expected to get from these tags. Like, imagine fumbling the bag so hard that that's what happens. I also feel like, realistically speaking, there had to be some kind of happy balance and compromise. Like, we can sign him to a slightly less long-term deal. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it would have required some hard work. It would have required giving some concessions up, which I'm assuming is a real sticking point. The Cowboys obviously knew that Micah would have wanted to negotiate or whatever. They just felt like it wasn't worth it. Whatever benefit they got from doing things this way far outweighed trying to do things any other way. So,
I'm not going to really spend too much time on this, but in a similar reflection to what you're saying, I mean, look,
it makes us look like
the front office fucked it up. They fucked it up by not doing this last year. They said they needed to get CD and Dak done. They could have done all three. What just the stupid comments from this front? I said it last year. It was dumb to wait. If you're gonna do it now. You could have been. That's 1 year. This is 2 years. You probably could have another 2 years, Micah, and then he could have been gone. At that point, he's what, 8 years, 9 years in the league. I mean, okay, you could let him go now. You get a third round comp pick. You could trade him. But the Cowboys played dumb in this here, and they fucked up again. They did the same thing again, and I would not be surprised if the Cowboys try to tag him on the linebacker tag rather than the edge tag, which is like double the money.
Yeah.
So it's just the Cowboys do not know how to they think just you're at the Cowboy, you're a Dallas Cowboy, that's enough for you to give up everything that you should get just because you're a Cowboy. It used to work that way, but that's been like about 20 years, overused by this fucking front office. So I think the Cowboys blew this again. And now that we're in this situation, to me, I see the poll. I know we have over 50% of the people that, you have the numbers. So over 50% of the people, I think, are voting that we should sign him now. But, now the relationship is, money always fixes it, but
53% want to sign Micah ASAP, and that's out of 45 votes.
Right. So I'm just saying.
Thank you so much. Congrats. Thank you so much to everybody who has participated in the poll so far.
Yeah.
And continue to participate, please, guys. If you haven't already, let us know your thoughts.
I just think that just the Cowboys, they needed to get this done last year or get it done nicely this year before you get the big contracts of Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt. But because the Cowboys, they waited again, and now Micah. It's not like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was waiting for Justin Jefferson. We knew that was not the front office, but he was ready to deal last year. Cowboys waited. He was ready to deal early this year. Cowboys waited. Then you see, Myles Garrett gets a deal. Then you see, of course, they waited again, and then again, T.J. Watt gets a deal.
Great job bringing up CD because Seabass said Micah didn't handle it like Dak and CD did. Keep it a band, stay hush, maintain that belief in yourself, and let your agent handle it from the jump.
Right. And
just shut the fuck up.
and the thing was, he got too nice with Jerry. That's the thing. He's like, I'm your buddy kind of feeling. Like, I'm one of your guys. Because you see them at the Super Bowl, they were sitting together, and, Micah always wants to be the cowboy. It's almost like Micah played into the whole, I'm a Cowboy fan. I love the star, and that's why I'm going to be here over the money. But then Jerry uses that, and then he disrespects the player, the person, the human. He disrespects them by lowballing them and using that love for the star to, you could take 40 million less. Fuck you, Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Jerry would never do that in his own life. Why would he expect his players to do that? His employees to do that? So again, it's just this is the way it's always been. It's nothing surprising. I'm not gonna sit here and rant about it for an hour. We know it already. We've been ranting about it for fucking 10 years on YouTube, and I've been ranting about it for 29 years here in real life, IRL. So my point is I wanted to get it all out. I know you got yours out. What's the chat? I see Seabass has a lot to say on this. So I want to know what he had to say.
Seabass said, how do you think that this contract is being presented to Parsons and his team? Like, for real.
They said it. He said it. And it sounds like Micah was friendly with Jerry. They're talking about what could be a good deal, some numbers, and Jerry took it as we got a deal. And Micah's like, let me take it to my agent. And then Jerry got upset because he took it to his agent and wanted to finish a negotiation.
Negotiating. And Jerry's like, I thought we were done
Correct.
negotiating.
That's the issue. Jerry's playing stupid. He's playing dumb. He knows.
Exactly. He's taking advantage of the fact that Micah doesn't know, because this is Micah's first time in this situation.
He's taking advantage of Micah Parsons thinking that they're friends. And he's like, I got him now. I can use this as leverage in the media. And that's where we're at. And some people are buying it. Some people hate Micah. Some people aren't buying it. I don't hate. I'm not buying it. But I also know it could be sour to a point where it might have to be traded.
Yeah.
By next year, he might have to be traded.
And it sucks because honestly, this is one of those situations where normally it would be pretty easy to see what it is that's happening. Doesn't feel that way in this case, just because, this isn't me disparaging Micah. It's just the reality of the situation, because he is a little bit more ready to, like Seabass said, he's not going to take it just lying down. He is more ready to speak up, speak out, fight back. I do imagine that had a factoring into Jerry's decision. Maybe. If he gave any thought at all about how any of this was going to be handled, he had to know that Micah was going to probably go off and say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I feel like he's maybe counting on that.
Again, that's what we all kind of saying here. Yeah. I wanted to go back because he has a whole.
Let me keep going. Karam Mawani said, "I said the Cowboys will sign Micah ASAP. I'm glad that he's putting the pressure on Jerry."
No, I definitely don't disagree with Micah doing this. I know. Again, Seabass had a lot of questions earlier.
I'm going back now.
Yeah. I wanted him. I was reading some of that.
I know. I'm getting to it. But Chris Plumage said, I think Howie Roseman is the only one in the league who's playing chess.
Yes.
As opposed to the rest of the league's higher ups.
I agree.
Micah would have gotten his deal in Philly, and that's why they're winning when we aren't.
And I've said that. I hate to say this about Philly, but they have the best fucking general manager in the league, and I would trade half our team to get Howie Roseman on this team as a general manager.
So, Seabass said, both parties are wrong. Micah could not have known in all his NFL experience that this was a negotiation. And on the flip side, Joneses are wrong because his agent wasn't there. Micah should not have been talking about his contract opinions or preferences or whatever. The court of public opinion on podcasts and all the people that he spoke to about it,
I think most of the stuff he spoke to publicly was he's always working with the Joneses. It was never negative until this. And I don't, so that's a difference there, Seabass. He was not negative until Jerry Jones smacked him around for like a year. And I say that in the court of public opinion, Jerry Jones talking about Micah and Dak and all this stuff. Come on. So my thing is, and the fact that we hear the way this thing went down, where the Joneses are using his naivety. And I agree with Seabass. It is Micah's fault for thinking he's making deals, for thinking he's friendly and just talking with Jerry. Mm-hmm. Bring your goddamn, if you're in a contract situation, never take it as you're Jerry Jones's friend. You got to be smarter than that and take your agent with you. Maybe the agent said, "Hey, Micah, why don't you go there, be friends with him, maybe get some information and use it in negotiation." But I kind of believe Micah Parsons saying, "Listen, this is business, and also we're just talking. When he knows that Mike is not the guy making necessarily the examination of the contract. Like it still has to be looked over by the lawyer, let's say, aka the agent. Is Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones getting flustered and pissy about that? That's immaturity from the Joneses, or that's just what they do to make the player always look bad. So it's kind of my thought process there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, all good. Let me keep going with Seabass because he said, how do you think that the locker room is receptive and being perceptive to the fact that the star defender said he no longer wants to play for the Cowboys?
I think they're on his team. I think they're on his team in the sense that they understand what he's going through. And we've heard this from CD and other players on this team.
So Big Mabowski said, if an agreement was made in March, then Jerry should have told Micah, get your agent on the phone, call the attorneys, get everybody back to the star, get that shit pinned up and signed.
Again, agree 100%. If Micah actually made a deal, immediately the Joneses should be like, okay, let's get this thing done. If they're so happy about the deal. But they know the routine. It's not like we got a deal because Micah said, cool beans. Nah, it's got to be done. And the Joneses know this more than Micah go in there and talk about making it. He wants a dollar, $1 a year on his contract.
Yeah.
It's not official, Jerry. So I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what went on behind closed doors, if they shook an agreement or not. It is all about the agent, baby. And the Joneses fucking know it more than anyone else. Businessmen. They know it. So Micah's playing businessman. They don't like it. Too bad. Fuck you, Jerry. Fuck you, Steven. That's the way I see it. I do see there's some faults Micah made more out of ignorance and being naive than being malicious. I see the faults from the Joneses being malicious and on purpose and trying to use the star to bring in these guys for disrespectful values. And presenting this disrespecting their own players. That's what the Joneses. Why do other teams not have this disrespect issue? None of them. Winning Super Bowls, not winning Super Bowls, whichever team it is, they don't disrespect their players like this. 99% of the time. We do it 80% of the time, it feels like.
Which is unfortunate.
Fucking stupid. Anyways, I'm going to move on from this here. Any last comments on Micah?
Little Dallas Cowboy said, he responding to what Big Rumbowski said, saying, I don't think that Micah did that. I think he just heard Jerry Jones out and then spoke to his agent, the same agent that got perfect behavior Watson, a fully guaranteed 200-something thousand or something like that. So
there's a guy, DeMarcus Lawrence, a big deal too at the time. What, 7 years ago?
I just think it's messed up that, like, Jerry, just pick up the phone if the agent calls. Like, you don't have to sign the deal right then and there. But
he's taking like a slight. If he's taking it as a slight, then that means he don't want a deal. He don't want to sign Micah. And that's why my view has kind of shifted there. Because now the Joneses are showing they don't want to sign Micah, and they're giving him the runaround to the point where you're disrespecting him. He's gone, and I can't blame him for that. That's at certain points. Disrespect and respect is important, and being disrespected multiple times by the Joneses. Sometimes it's just. I mean, again, it could be fixed with money. It always kind of fixes it, but sometimes you go fuck around, you find out. Sometimes you go a little too far. Sometimes you made your own decision for yourself there, Jerry. So we'll see what happens. But it's still the clown show, unfortunately, for the Cowboys. So who are we bringing in there? Because, again, we know Micah Parsons in practice, in the sense of actually practicing. So we brought in a guy people like a lot. He's only been in the league for a couple of years, but he's been a disappointment. Pass rusher James Houston had 8 sacks as I think he had 7 sacks as a rookie. He had 8 sacks total since 2022 as a rookie. In 2022, he had time with Detroit, Motor City, the Detroit Lions, Cleveland Browns last year. He's an intriguing depth option. But he does have 8 sacks in his career. Now, he was a 6th-round pick by the Detroit Lions in 2022. This player, James Houston, he had 8 sacks in 7 games in his rookie year. So 8 sacks in 7 games. He had a fantastic rookie season. But then he had 9 sacks total. He only had 1 sack in 13 games since then. So after 2022's rookie year, in 8 sacks in 7 games, he had 1 sack in 13 games. That's the way he. So again, an added addition guy there, but so we added somebody. We got to cut somebody. We cut Luigi. We released defensive edge rusher Luigi Villian. I don't know how to say his name, but he was like the 90th guy on the roster. He's off. So another slight to Mr. Micah Parsons. You go, and guys, again, maybe you'll say I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong on this. I want to know your opinions. But the Jones, are they clown showing again in this time? Are they doing it to Micah in the way of Jake Ferguson,
Hmm.
possibly? What do I
I
mean
mean
by that?
that's an interesting statement there,
Well,
but
let me tell you why. I do believe that because the Cowboys went out there and signed Jake Ferguson to an extension and said, "Fuck you, Micah. We're going to worry about our best player, Jake Ferguson, not you, Micah." I don't know. It just feels that way sometimes. So let me put the clown show back there. Let me take them away. So what happened, guys? Jake Ferguson got a contract extension, right? He got a 4-year extension
mm-hmm,
worth $52 million a season. So basically, he's got $52 million total in new money. When you add it together, it's about 13. Am I right? 13 million a year. I think that's what it is. I'm
mm-hmm.
not sure, but $13 million a year for Jake Ferguson. Which honestly, you remember we almost paid Dalton Schultz like $15 million
Yeah.
a year. He wanted 13. The Cowboys said, "We'll give you 14." Fuck. Like this kind of negotiation
Yeah,
people we
that
got here.
great negotiation,
Yeah.
Cowboys,
So
right?
yeah, Jake Ferguson, he 13 million a year, great deal. I actually like this deal. I think he is a top 10 at the very least, top maybe even it could be a top 5 tight end in 2025. We'll see, but he is officially signed to a $13 million a year deal for 4 more years, a 4-year extension.
Yeah.
And so again, Ferguson, according to most analysts,
Yeah.
is coming off a down year. But again, we know his numbers have been pretty nice. And again, with no Dak Prescott back there, it was kind of tougher for him. But he has shown a lot of flashes of serious potential in the past, specifically in 2023 in that entire season. But again, the Cowboys have locked up 2 of Dak Prescott's
Mm-hmm.
most important pass catchers for the next couple of years. I'm talking about for Dak Prescott, you got CeeDee Lamb locked up and you got Jay Ferguson locked up.
Yeah.
Right?
So that is huge.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And then you add to that the fact that we have George Pickens right now and guys like Kavontae Turpin, Jalen Tolbert. There's a lot of weapons. And you even look at running backs out of the backfield. You could look at Jaden Blue or Miles Sanders. Weapons all over for Dak Prescott. Jake Ferguson locked up, now signed to again, 4-year, $52 million extension. So congrats to him on that one there. But any quick thoughts on Jake Ferguson, I guess, and the deal? I mean, fair. Do you like the $13 million a year? Do you too soon?
I actually am a fan of this. It sucks because again, on one hand, the Cowboys absolutely just fumble the bag with the Micah situation. Like you couldn't do it worse if you didn't try.
Hmm.
And then you turn around and do something so reasonable, so good for the team, so well structured out that it's like, damn, fuck you, Cowboys.
Well,
I'm just
I
saying,
you're giving way too much credit for the great deal.
it's more just the sense that these are the types of deals that make sense and strike that perfect balance
Right, it's
between
fair across the board, both sides.
exactly, like we're striking while the iron's hot, we're getting a good solid player, or like you said, we're locking them down and keeping it consistent for Dak for the next
4 more
handful
years,
of years that
it's-
we have him.
yeah.
Like it like I said, it just sucks that we can't somehow find that same kind of balance with the Micah
Yeah.
situation.
So
That's
again,
all.
going back to the Mike situation, linebacker, you see, or actually edge rusher linebacker, but I was talking about Houston. Look at Motor City again, play for Detroit.
Yeah.
Great insight there. Let me hear what he had to say.
He said the year Houston got 8 sacks, Detroit played him in multiple positions.
So you see, the Cowboys will do that with
He
players
also
like
said
him.
James Houston is pretty good, but not a star.
Yeah. So again, like I said, Cowboys didn't get him to be a star. He's an interesting depth position for the Cowboys, and I think it's something like you can say he's a camp body since Micah's not even practicing right now.
Yeah.
So with no Micah, James Houston gets an opportunity to maybe sneak in here or be possibly a practice squad player for the Cowboys. So, I do think that there's potential there, not to be a superstar, but just to be a good, decent player and maybe be a backup eventually one day on a 53-man roster. So there is that potential if the Cowboys use him right. With Eberflus right now, our defensive coordinator, with him back there, he does like to use players, kind of move them around different positions. You're going to see that with Micah. You're going to see that with maybe a couple other of our guys. If you saw it with Marshawn Nealon, you may see it with Escarazu. He's more athletic. So you can see there's a lot of our players kind of being moved into like a linebacker situation. So you can see that with someone with a Houston being the third team, Micah Parsons, kind of deal. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But potential is what's there. It's not about, we're looking for a superstar, game breaker. Now, let me put again, I got to put the training camp back up because we are talking about training camp here, but we got some other injuries during training camp I got to talk about here before I get to the final training camp notes. And I think you have a couple of comments there,
Yeah.
sure, as well. But the thing is, Cowboys roster move, right? Well, actually, I mean, I think you missed a thing that we had to talk about when it came to Micah Parsons, but the Jerry Jones Jay-Z situation. But I think that was your information, baby.
Oh, that's right.
It's kind of too late now for that, but I guess why don't we finish it up?
Well, it goes back into the whole shenanigans of the front office, just, and nothing crazy, guys, but, part of the contractual problems, right? Jerry Jones admitted that back with the Dez Bryant days, that the deal was apparently directly negotiated with Jay-Z to some capacity, right? Jerry's actual specific quote said, one of the reasons that and this is his excuse for not calling Micah's agent.
Okay,
So
this is why we needed this context.
this is where
yes.
it kind of goes back to the Dez thing. He says, because when we have a problem with the player, the agent's nowhere to be found. Jay-Z said Dez would make all the meetings. Jay-Z and I negotiated the contract. We spent hours. He said, anybody in my organization is on time. And he said, my office used to be on the street corner, and I've always been, so they'll be on time. And what did I say? I said, I'm going to call you when I have a problem, and he quit taking my call.
Again, I think that's first of all by Jerry Jones saying that stupidity to me, whether it's true or not. The point is, number one, what are Jay-Z's credentials? And I'm sure you'll have that. And number two, it's still it's a business. You're running. Forget about the organization. You're running a multi-billion-dollar business. You don't try to go and have your guys try a little harder. Check out who's that. Maybe who's the guy who actually the guy get the finalized deal from, not Jay-Z. Even if it says Jay-Z, you talk to Jay-Z. It's a Jay-Z, but he's not the guy doing the deal. So my point is, it's the same kind of, feigning ignorance here by Jerry Jones that he did with Dez Bryant to cause an issue. He did the same thing now. He's at least using that as the excuse. So what other things were said about that?
Well, the thing is that that was basically everything that Jerry had to say. The thing is that obviously you don't get to just say that and not expect Dez Bryant to not respond because obviously you talk about Dez, he's going to say something. He said this to Jerry, saying, Jerry Jones, I don't think it's smart to mention my name. I kept quiet about a lot of unfair shit on some G shit. We can have story time if that's what we're doing. So
I just want to say something about that.
Yeah.
Literally, again, we just heard it back and forth. You heard, Jerry Jones saying his thing. You see Micah Parsons saying his thing. Now you're hearing, Dez Bryant saying, listen, don't put my name in this because you've done me dirty a lot. The Joneses are the fault here. Even though Micah has a part to play, even though Dak had a part to play, Zach Martin had everybody, CeeDee Lamb, they all had a part to play. But the main catalyst issue, the main 80% of the time issue of these two motherfuckers on your screen. Them's facts. They're the clown show. Not the players as much. Not even close. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, all good. So the thing is that the final thing I'll leave you here with is the statement made by Roc Nation, Jay-Z's obviously label, management company, whatever.
Right, it's his label, but it's also, they do a lot of different things. So they do have an agency where they take care of NBA players, NFL players. They do have agents under the Roc Nation label, right? So and that's who you got to. You don't talk to Jay-Z, the non-agent, right? Is he even an agent? I don't think
he is not, which is kind of the last thing I was going to mention after the statement.
Yes,
but they said in 2015 at the 21 Club on a napkin, Jerry Jones, Juan Perez, Sean Jay-Z Carter, and Stephen Jones negotiated a 5-year, $70 million deal, which included a $45 million guarantee and a $20 million signing bonus for Dez Bryant. At the time, it was the second largest contract for a wide receiver in NFL history. The claim that Mr. Carter or Roc Nation representatives did not return a call from Jerry Jones is not only a false statement, but it's also a comical one.
Well, again, and you got to remember something, and I hear what Seabass is saying. They're not, they're just not really a professional as maybe some other agencies, but you know what? They still have to deal with them. Doesn't matter who you're dealing with. And other players have had Roc Nation represent them, and guess what happened? No issues behind the scenes. Never an issue. Never an issue. Never unprofessional. So why now unprofessional? To me, the Joneses are the unprofessional ones. and always have been. And that goes through deals like
Mhm.
Randy Gregory's deal, whether we like it or got lucky or whatever. These guys are these two idiots here almost ruined us like 3 times in a row, and we got lucky. It wasn't their dealings; it was their mistakes that got us off the hook on that one. I'm just saying, there's a lot. These are idiots we're dealing with in the front office. Idiots. And Roc Nation, Jay-Z is Jay-Z is like Jerry Jones. They can talk. Well, not he's like Stephen Jones. You
Mhm.
can talk all you want, but you really can't make a deal. You gotta talk. Jerry Jones and the agent has to talk. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what they say. On a napkin, Jerry Jones writes down a deal, and that's supposed to be like a done deal thing. Come on, man. Come on. Be professional, Jerry Jones. Be professional. So,
Mm.
I mean, again, I don't know what the chat's saying, but I know
I
it's.
mean, yeah.
Is there anything else to say about this?
No, like I said, that was it there.
You made a good point. You had made a good point. I'm sorry, I kind of jumped the gun
No,
a
it's
little, but
okay.
you had made a good point though. I want you about the Jay-Z is not an agent.
Oh, yeah, no. So I had already started mentioning, but he is technically not a licensed NFLPA agent, which
Mm.
means that he can't really have those types of discussions. And it just from a legal perspective, I just wonder what that means, if that like invalidates the contract or something else. But the point is, something there happened that definitely shouldn't be happening. It'll be interesting to see if the NFL comes down on that in any way. But still, just saying, like, I don't really think that Jay-Z is like personally involved in every negotiation.
No,
But Micah Parsons is a big enough name that, if he somehow still is doing that, like, no, I'm just saying, like, if Jay-Z is somehow involved in some,
he's not. Well, he's not
I
involved.
know,
Okay, okay. Yeah.
just saying.
Well, I mean, he's not. He's involved with. He was involved with Dez Bryant. That's the deal we're talking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But again, if Jerry Jones is pulling napkin
It
deals
just,
with Micah Parsons, then I mean, I can't
well,
blame
I'm just
Micah
trying to say, because
Parsons
he's
for
blaming
saying it's
Jay-Z for the reason that he didn't call Micah. I'm just saying,
no.
like,
Well,
I don't know
he's
what
blaming Jay Z.
Jay-Z,
Everything called well, yeah, because of the Dez Bryant fallout situation where they tried to chase after him.
okay.
So he didn't want to look desperate. So he didn't want to do that this time, which is bullshit. Because there's no
Is
one
Micah's
guy's
agent like a Roc Nation
no. That's
agent?
what I'm saying. There's no connection. It's just an excuse for the Joneses. They do bad business. If a
That is
businessman
very
will go
dumb.
out there, you might not want to send somebody. You want to make sure your best players do get catered to. I'm sorry, Jerry. You don't want to look
Exactly.
at you want to get these guys on your team, but then you're sitting there trying to get Randy Gregory and trick him and change the contract in the last second. Thank goodness you did that because you fucked it up and he went to Denver for a ripoff. But the point is nonetheless the same. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, is just a bunch of fuck ups. And the main reason why we're an unprofessional franchise. I think that's much more professional than Jay Z or or Roc Nation
Hmm.
or Micah Parsons and Mulgada, who the Joneses have dealt with multiple times with multiple players on our team, so they know them already. They're just mad, and the Joneses, I mean, are mad, and so then this is what they do. So, anyways, chat. I know there's something in the chat there. A couple comments.
Yeah, so Seabass said, I actually believe in the napkin deal. I
I
know
do.
that there's plenty of people that are skeptical about it, but I believe in that. But I still think that they flunked that too.
I'm sure.
That they
I'm
basically
sure.
managed to fuck that up.
Oh yeah, we got him signed, right? But it took longer than it needed to. It was a lot of hurt feelings because of the Joneses. They're the biggest issue. Let me keep that up. Let me get these fuckers down.
Yeah.
But now we got clowns in our faces here. So
So Chris Plumage said, when does the market ever break with player salaries? How in the hell can teams and players continue to reset the market and make a new highest player deal? And when does it level out? It's
I mean,
fantasy land.
think about it though. The running back levels went down.
True.
That's the way it goes up. Most of the time, it keeps going up because cost of living goes up. That's the way it goes. They make more money. They get more revenue. Players get more revenue. Players get more money. That's why it happens. And you get a bigger salary cap. That's the way it goes. But position wise, yeah, every position tends to go up, incrementally. Some more than others, faster than others. But when it comes to running backs, it took a dip for a year or two.
Yeah.
So now because of Saquon, it's going back up again. But the point is, that should answer that question. Anyways, anything else maybe before we roll on here? Training
No,
camp,
I think we're all good.
all the training camp video and footage and highlights. I'm not gonna go and tell you about them. You can see them right now on the shorts section right here in this channel. So you want to do that, do it after the stream ends. But since we're finishing it up here now, and I don't think we're going to hit the goal because we're definitely at the end of the stream here. I do have to give you some unfortunate updates and a couple thoughts about training camp that I have. I want to know what you think. So let's keep it focused here. All of us in the chat and everything. Let's finish up strong. So right now, Cowboys have a couple roster moves. And the first one is an injury, unfortunately, out for the year, a wide receiver that we actually made a move for in one of our free agents that we signed. Paris Campbell, guys. Paris Campbell placed on season-ending injured reserve. You guys, I know, in the beginning of this camp, the first week, he had a little knee soreness. And then it turned into this. So
That sucks.
his 2025 season is over, not even taking a snap on the field during a game for the Cowboys. It was reported again earlier in the week, last week, I guess, that Paris Campbell was dealing with an MCL sprain. After the knee soreness, it was MCL sprain. Clearly, it was severe enough that the Cowboys, who signed him in free agency this offseason, had to put him on injured reserve. It was a necessary step, and it officially ends this season for Paris Campbell. So now no receiver there. We have enough receivers, but, he wasn't really doing anything in camp, and it was all without pads. You know what I'm saying? He had only shells and shorts, so it was not really showing. We didn't really see much from him anyways. He had knee soreness, and so he's out for the year. Done deal. Now, that's receiver. What about cornerback? We cannot afford cornerbacks getting hit with Trayvon Diggs hurt. Savon Rivell Jr. hurt. No Jordan Lewis in the slot right now, right? So the Cowboys signed cornerback Christian Matthew. And I'm saying that now because it makes, okay, he's just a cornerback, not a big deal. It's just another camp body. But why did we do that? And if you remember, and you'll see in our shorts section, when they just had the helmets and shorts on, no pads, CeeDee Lamb made a great play. A quick screen, took it from the right side of the field, kind of across the field to the left side, and cut back to the middle, touchdown, and celebrated with George Pickens, a kind of little cell phone thing, and then they kind of ran away from each other. Anyways, the video is up there. On that play is where I think Kalen Carson got injured.
Damn.
So because CD made a move and Kalen Carson kind of slipped, his leg kind of hyperextended, his right leg, and it could have been, and I saw this come out, this report. It looks like it maybe was related to that. So what happened? Kalen Carson, guys, suffered a hyperextended knee. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. So I guess you could say another 5 to 3 weeks at this point now. So signed Christian Matthew, cornerback, another low-ranking camp body here, a free agent. But basically, guys, we added this 28-year-old Christian Matthew to the roster, and the situation with Kalen Carson, unfortunately, is going to delay any progression from him, and we'll see what happens. Do the Cowboys put him on that, basically season-starting PUP list, which misses 4 games? Do they just not want to, just keep him there in the meantime, or do they want to, he'll be back in time for week 1 and have a role for him? That's important. Do they have a role for Kalen Carson right now with no real time with Eberflus? So again, they added the Christian Matthew to the roster. Just so you guys know, with these roster moves, the injury also will get this player. He was a 7th round pick in 2022, another 2022 player. He was a 2nd round pick by the Cardinals. He was 25 years old and he was drafted. But again, he's 6'2", 41.5-inch vertical leap, and a 4.5 inch. And a 4.5 in the 40-yard dash. So very fast player, very big and athletic. He has size. He has athletic potential. It's hard to overlook for Christian Matthew.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what he can bring. But again, he's low man on the totem pole at the cornerback spot, but he did make the Cardinals roster as a 7th round rookie. He appeared in 14 games, and he had 3 starts. So as a 7th rounder, 3 starts in his rookie year, a good start. He did it again in 2023, but then he was released in early October of that year, and then, kind of bounced around, and now he's with us. So again, because of Kalen Carson's 4 to 6 week injury and a hyperextended knee, we picked up a kind of a warm body for training camp. So anyways, there's that. Now we got to talk about the unfortunate part of our offensive line. And baby, I know you had a lot to say about this, behind the scenes. I know we don't talk about a lot of football behind the scenes, but when we did talk about this part about things, I know that it was very concerning. And I'm going to go from kind of back to front here, because the last practice, the guy who came up the field limping, you see the video is in our short section. The guy who came off the field limping was Tyler Smith. And that is our number one leader, number one offensive lineman. That's the guy. So, again, there's other guys that are injured, like Rob Jones, and Tyler Guyton, which is the big name there. I'll get to him in a minute. So here's the thing. Cowboys offensive line has been decimated by injuries. And on Thursday afternoon, a couple days ago, Pro Bowl left guard Tyler Smith exited practice early with knee soreness. It's officially called knee soreness. Tendonitis is what it's ruled as. So it's got tendonitis of the knee. And again, at this moment, because they really haven't had too many practices, I mean, he missed a practice that they had, the last one, but it's really unknown if he's going to miss any major time. He's walked off the field. I had the clip. He said, I'm fine. So the good news is, he walked off the field of his own power. The word is it's not a long-term, not even close to being a long-term injury. If anything, he's just going to get a couple of days of rest, day-to-day kind of deal. Tendonitis. So we know that's not going to be it could be a long-term issue, but it's not a long-term, like he's not going to be out for weeks or months, right? Like right now. So right now, guys, when he said, was asked, how you feeling? He goes, I'm straight. I'm good. So he's good to go. But again, the latest offensive lineman to come up injured at training camp. Again, thankfully, there's nothing serious. So that's the good news here with Tyler Smith. All right. But let's talk about the other guys on the offensive line. He joins Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele's banged up. I know you had a whole long list of names, but on the offensive line, Terrence Steele has an ankle injury. He hasn't been playing much out there in the last couple of days of practice. Rob Jones, who had that, again, unfortunately, big loss in my opinion. He was the starter instead of Booker, Tyler Booker is our rookie guy, our rookie right guard, and Rob Jones was our starting right guard, a veteran that we signed in the offseason. So, again, Rob Jones, the neck injury, a broken bone in his neck. He's out for, what is it, 3 to 4 months, I think it is, or 2 to 3 months?
Something like that. I think I did the math. I think he would technically be back like week 18 or some shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's that long. But I think it's a 2-month, 3-month injury. It's a broken bone in his neck, but he's going to be back. It's not the end of the year.
I could have sort of said 3 to 4 months, and it put him around
holiday
time. But okay, I could be misremembering.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be more like 3 months at most. I think it's closer to 2 to 3 months is what they had said for Rob Jones. But he has that broken bone in his neck. Supposedly he's going to be fine when he gets back, and it'll be 100% again. So Terrence Steele, Rob Jones, and of course the one name that we kind of are most worried about, because Terrence Steele's a minor little bang up. He'll be fine. Same thing with Tyler Smith. Rob Jones, we know he's out for a while, but he was holding the place, the space there for Tyler Booker. Booker has to play sooner now, so that's just our first round pick. Got to play? Well, too bad. He's our first round pick. He's got to be the starter, and that's what we expect from him. So that leaves me Tyler Guyton. I know there's Booker who I'm gonna have to take over for Rob Jones. We already know that. He's gonna have to be the guy now. Even though he was on the second team, he jumped in the first team immediately. And it wasn't just him, guys. It was Booker. There was a couple other guys involved there that jumped in there. I think we had like TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman also involved, that right guard. So Booker not necessarily has to be forced into there either, because TJ Bass, because Booker is maybe a rookie, maybe not 100% ready to go yet. These other guys, like TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman, have started before. They've played before in major games for the Cowboys. So this is why we might not miss too much of a beat, even with the Rob Jones injury, even with the Tyler Booker being a rookie, maybe not starting right now. We are still kind of okay there for a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's when you get Booker going full speed at that starting spot there. But either way, let's go all the way to the left side of our offensive line. We have last year's first-round pick, Tyler Guyton, number 60. He has a knee injury. And you know what the first initial reports were? It was an ACL tear. Would have been major, major loss. The good news is it's a knee injury, but he avoided the ACL tear. So he is expected, unfortunately, to miss 4 to 6 weeks. So
That's obviously a lot better than
so much
missing
better.
an entire season
Yeah.
to an ACL.
Yeah. So again, it's officially called a fractured bone. It's a fractured bone in his knee, which sounds fucking horrible. But 4 to 6 weeks, that's it. That's like week 1, week 2, right? I mean, with ease, week 2.
Yeah.
So again, guys, that's a big one. That's a big woo. All right. How do you feel about that? I mean, that's a major. How do you feel about that? That's a major
I mean,
breath of sigh of relief, you can say, right?
I just share my thoughts.
No, I know, but I mean, with the whole offensive line situation.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, look.
By the way,
that
Rob Jones,
the happiest
2 to 3
news that we
months.
could have
I just
gotten.
found it.
Oh, okay, great. Thank
2
you.
to 3 months for him. Yeah.
Good to know. But yeah, like that's the best case scenario out of a situation like this. Again, these next few weeks will hopefully fly by as soon as possible. But damn, it really, really sucks to just have an offensive line injury and going into like starting the season
Behind the eight ball
like
already.
a man down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look at this,
But the fact that
yeah.
like I said, it's hard to feel anything other than grateful.
That's not worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, 4 to 6 weeks for Guyton. Should be back hopefully week 1, week 2 should be good to go.
Seabass is concerned because he's like, Guyton looks like he gained weight too. So
yeah, he needs that time out there, and he won't have it now. So, and I'll explain what the Cowboys did because I think Nate Thomas went in there and actually looked pretty good. 7th round pick from last year. So, anyways, the thing is, Rob Jones going to miss 2 to 3 months with a broken bone in his neck. Terrence Steele injured but returned to practice. He had an ankle injury, but it was a minor little soreness. So good news there. And good news with Tyler Guyton only missing a couple of 4 to 6 weeks. So the only one that's a major loss is Rob Jones. Like I said, Tyler Booker, TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman, 3 of those guys there. One of them is going to be doing that role. And I feel okay with any of them. The best one wins that role.
All right.
And I don't think there's any kind of issue with that right now. I think eventually it's got to be Booker full time. But right now, it's okay if it's a little slower. So that's kind of to me the silver lining to this situation. With the Cowboy injuries and all this extra time, you get to look at the depth of our offensive line, which is maybe the biggest thing for a season. Of course, you lose a quarterback or something like that is a big deal. But if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have an offense. You're not going to be able to run. You're not going to be able to throw. You're not going to have the time to throw against good teams. So, this is where those extra practice reps will give everybody a better idea where the Cowboys are and where the backups fit on this depth chart, as well as who may or may not make the 53-man roster. So several of the starters sidelined. I want you guys to know TJ Bass received a lot of work at both right guard and left guard in place of Tyler Smith and in place of Rob Jones. And the biggest surprise is Nate Thomas, 7th round pick last year. Nathaniel Thomas, stepping in for Tyler Guyton at left tackle. And that's a big deal because now we know if something happens to Tyler Guyton in the regular season, it's not like we at least know what we have. And that's Nate Thomas, who looks good out there. I know it's still early. We got to see him in some preseason games. And we got to see what he can do. We got to give him full work here. But if we can secure a backup, that'd be nice. And I'll tell you why in a minute, because we let somebody go that's not on our offensive line anymore. Released. So I'll let that secret out in a minute. But just want to let you guys know that Nate Thomas was basically an afterthought, being a 7th round pick last year for us, right? But he's holding his own. And he's caught the eye of the coaching staff, even in the OTAs. They were kind of like, we want to see what he does in training camp. Now they want to see what he does in preseason. And then they're going to want to see what he does maybe in a regular season game if ever needed. So, again, it's good to see that you're getting this little kind of preview from the backups on our offensive line, especially with him probably going to be a practice squad guy, Nate Thomas. We're going to watch him a lot for the first preseason game coming up on I think it's Saturday night. So, again, it's a bigger priority now that we take a good look at that left tackle spot and who's going to back up Guyton. Because Nate Thomas is right now the leader in that, kind of like the injury fill-in. He's the leader on that side of things. So, being hit hard with those offensive lineman injuries, what do the Cowboys do? Sign another offensive lineman. And this one, everyone knows.
Who?
La'el Collins.
Holy shit.
La'el Collins, guys. Yeah, La'el Collins is back with the Cowboys. Signed him a couple days ago. All right. Former undrafted player. And again, he was signed by the Cowboys in 2015. Remember, it was because his girlfriend got killed, and they thought he might be a suspect. And the next day after the draft, he was deemed. They found the guy, and he was not the suspect, and he was not drafted. So the Cowboys immediately signed him in 2015, and he ended up starting 71 out of the 74 games that he played in. And after asking permission for a trade, the Cowboys said, "Fuck you." He had that drug test issue there, so the
Yeah.
Cowboys said, "You're done." He was released, signed with the Bengals. He tore his ACL there, and then released. Came back to the Cowboys last year a little bit, remember? But it was only for 12 days, or 2 years ago. He's only back for like 12 days for our playoff run. Signed with the Bills last year, released in August, and hasn't played that since. So don't expect much from La'el Collins. But the Cowboys did sign him, and they also signed Jaron Christensen. So Jaron Christian and La'el Collins. What does this mean? The Cowboys had to make 2 spots open on our roster. So we put Paris Campbell on injured reserve. As you guys know, he's out for the year. So he's on injured reserve. And then we waived injured Matt Waletzko. So Matt Waletzko gone from the Cowboys. Not a big name, obviously, but still a guy that we knew was always hanging around and can never really break in there because of that injury that he had since he had in college, which we actually brought up on the day he got drafted. Something to watch on, keep an eye on. And it literally was the downfall to him on the Cowboys. So he was released. But by the way, he was dealing with, it was a shoulder injury, but he was dealing with an ankle issue, a whole different injury. Well, let's go. So here's the deal, baby. And here's what happened. Since he cleared waivers, no one picked him up. He reverted to injured reserve on the Cowboys. So he's technically released, but he stays on injured reserve. This happened with, I think, Lance Lenore one year when we released him and he was injured, but he came back to our team as a Cowboy, but on IR. Which I know there's a rule on that because they still get their money because they're still under contract. But they can also be signed by anybody if they wanted to. Anybody else. It's not like they're like our contracted player. They've kind of been released and then re-signed temporarily until someone picks them up off their team. But they have to be on a team. If they had a contract, they had to be on a team, their previous team that they were, that they had a contract with and were on injured reserve or injured with. So that would be Waletzko's ankle with the Cowboys. So, anyways, Waletzko, I just wanted to finalize his last final piece of importance. He's the player who was taken in the 5th round, acquired by the Cleveland Browns by the infamous Amari Cooper trade. When we traded Amari Cooper, we got a 5th rounder. And his name was Matt Waletzko. He's now, let's go, out of here, out of Dallas. He's not a Cowboy anymore. That officially ends any connection that the Cowboys have to that Amari Cooper disaster, I call it. So, I have basically 2 things left to talk about here. Quickly, and that is the discipline and the culture of the Cowboys. I don't know if there's any quick comments in there, and I also wanted to say just a quick rundown of all the players and just kind of go through if anything that stands out in my mind about what I've seen in the videos we have posted. Any quick thoughts in there, maybe?
So Steve said, "Yep, I see what you're saying, but I'm labeled pessimistic when I say it."
Who me? Well, no, I'm a pessimistic motherfucker. That's for sure. I know I'm a pessimistic person, so that part's facts.
Yeah, Cromwell said, "Yeah, I saw that it was labeled as a leg injury first with the whole Tyler Guyton thing."
Yeah. And it is the Tyler Guyton thing is a leg injury. Well, like I said, it seems like it's a knee fracture, a bone in the knee, 4 to 6 weeks only though. So that's we got lucky there.
Little Dallas Cowboy said, "Guyton is playing game 4."
We're playing game 4 is what he's saying.
Yeah, so he should hopefully be healthy week 1 or 2, and then 3-4 weeks to then get into the groove. So again, honestly, like I said, we are very, very lucky that things turned out about as well as you can imagine in an injury situation. Yeah,
very lucky. So just to finish up, guys, I wanted to say the culture situation here. And listen, baby, I have to ask you, you guys can look at the videos. I have almost every single kind of like the coaches, the way they kick off their practices. Schottenheimer, and again, it's not necessarily Schottenheimer, it's just the coaches. It's mainly the defensive coaches, I've realized. They do different crazy shit. They go out there dressed like a boxer. They go out there, they brought out Rowdy doing the drills. They had they were like doing like a dunk contest, the coaches, like on a little baby rim dunk. And as soon as they dunked it, they started the drill. And then they had like Ferguson trying to block a shot, and if he got dunked on, and they start to dribble. The point is a lot of they came in on a board like they were surfing. The coaches. So I'm trying to figure out what is the what do you guys think? Some people say they love this shit. I do not like it. Now, do they have to have? Can they have fun? Of course they can. But to me, there's going to be a point in the season you got to talk to them like men, not like little fucking kids. And that looks like the little kids. And I think it's embarrassing. I personally think it's embarrassing. I like the little hype up, but they took it too far. And they do it every day in practice. It's another dumb fucking little quirky, corny thing they do. I'm a Cowboy fan that is against it. They can do it, but I don't like it. And I think it's going to hurt the Cowboys when the rubber hits the road and they have to actually be talked to like men, not like coddled little children. So what do you think about these celebrations by the coaches at the practices?
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Similar to other things, I think that it's easy to take that and focus on that and make it into a bigger issue. We already know how the Joneses operate. Schottenheimer has very little control and say over this team on a general and overall basis, but this is actually one of the few things that he can control. And I'm not a fan of it. It's not really my thing, but I'm also not like a 22-year-old dude on the Dallas Cowboys football team. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, trying to connect to this next generation, these young guys, like, at least they're trying something that feels like it'll work more than not.
You guys let us know in the chat what you think about that.
But
some people like it. Some people hate it.
100% wrong. Like, some of it definitely feels a little bit like, but a lot of it, to me, is just, like, who the fuck cares? Like,
no.
That's it. It just, like, it is not as big of a deal as some people are making it out.
So, I have the issue with this, and not a big issue, but I just wish it was not the focal point of like the practice coolness. I hate it. I hate this whole like corniness.
Yeah,
it's corny to me.
I don't disagree.
So I think some players find it corny too. I truly do think so. But hey,
sure.
we'll have to wait and see.
But you can't tell your boss that.
I know that. but some of these guys might like the hypeness there. They might actually come up with the ideas to do this stuff.
Yeah.
But my thing is this. How's discipline in this team? We know it's a new little culture, and everyone's like, he's a player's coach, and it seems nice, right? So camp started off, fight, day 1, fight, day 2. First 2 practices had fights, guys, between teammates. All right, I think it was second-year tight end Brevin Spanford and rookie Donovan Escarazu got into a little scuffle. Had to be sprayed. I think that's the one I actually uploaded. I don't know what happened with Marquise Bell. That's the one I uploaded. Marquise Bell went into the stands with rookie tight end Tyler Neville. Who was in the middle of that, and they threw punches. I mean, I think Bell threw punches. So Bell didn't have a helmet on, and I think actually he hit the wrong guy. He hit Troy. He hit his own defensive player when he threw a punch. He hit Troy Pride in the neck. So Pride had to get some medical attention because of Marquise Bell's kind of punch that missed the target. So again, Pride was okay. He was seen jogging on the fields later. My point is, all that joking around bullshit, and you got fights, and you got fights, and you got fights. So Schottenheimer was not happy about this.
All the scuffles.
Well, in the first 2 days, okay, he wasn't happy. He called the team together, and then he yelled at them, and I actually uploaded that. But it's not the one you guys may think. That was the one that happened on the second day of practice. There was another one that happened a little later. But he yelled at them. He said he did not care what started the fight. He added that if anyone else ever threw a punch, they'll be sent off the field. So warning Marquise Bell there. And you can overhear him saying, quote, "Play hard, but control your fucking selves. Do you fucking understand me?" So I do like that part. I just think that he played around too long, and now he has to be like their dad and yell at them. And not even their dad, like a real coach. You know what I mean? Like a real coach. So what happened a few days later, all this fucking around, joking around, the coaches dancing around. Schottenheimer had to kick a player out of practice for throwing a punch. That video I also have up there, so please check it out. Schottenheimer's not messing around.
Well, Schottenheimer,
He's
though.
not.
Like, in the sense of, like,
Well, he
sticking to his guns.
he played around too much. Now he's got to be the mean guy. So again, and if you listen to the video, he went at them. He railed at the team, which I like to see. And he clearly wants there to be an understanding of how far things can be pushed. The Cowboys were a very penalized team last year, very lack of discipline. I think this year we're seeing some lack of discipline already.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a lot too much fucking around, in my opinion. Not enough discipline, in my opinion. But all right, whatever. I don't control that. Cowboys have dealt a lot of issues with penalties, and Schottenheimer said he wants to hold the team accountable to this. And part of it is, play hard and tough, but you gotta know your limits. You gotta know the lines. So this happened to rookie Ajani Cornelius. He was the guy that was thrown out. He was thrown out because he did throw a punch. And again, he had made, as I just told you, on day 2, he made it quite clear. Do not throw punches. You get thrown out. Day 6, a rookie threw a punch. Rookie got thrown out. So the physicality, the toughness, all those football cliches, he wants and he encourages that. But he does not. He reiterated, do not take it too far. He says there'll be restrictions, not just placed on the player. It kind of reminds me a little bit like Full Metal Jacket. It's not just on the player. It's on the entire team. He's going to put the restrictions. If one fucks up, they all fuck up in a way. It's almost like military style, which I do like for this. So what happened? Cornelius was thrown off the field. And what happened? He stopped practice, literally ended practice, and made them run gassers. Sideline to sideline, not end zone to end zone, but get sideline to sideline in groups. And I'm talking about Dak Prescott all the way down to the water boy, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just everybody.
I like that.
Was punished, and I like it. Now, the thing is again, he stopped practice. He pulled him into a huddle. He said, "You want to fucking fight? Let's fucking fight. I want to fucking fight. Let's fucking fight." And I have the whole little interaction on the video clip, so check them out if you missed them. But yeah, he just said, get to the fucking line, and now you're going to run all day. Mm-hmm. And then he made him run, I don't know, 10 minutes, the whole team back and forth, and it ended practice. He did not want to see any more fights, and that was their punishment. So, again, let me just put it this way. I want to make sure everyone understands me clearly. I do not like the coaches fucking around, fooling around, which obviously he inspires that. He wants that. I do not like that shit. Because I think you lose discipline. I think you're seeing the fact that there's lack of discipline. Now he has to actually step up and be more of a disciplinary, which I like to at least hear. I like to at least see. But let's see what actually happens from here forward. Because it's still a question mark to me with Schottenheimer, Shotty. And I want to see if his kind of player coach style is going to work. If it works, great. And we'll be dancing on fucking, on surfboards, and people be carrying us, whatever. But right now, I want to see it before I believe any of that stuff. Players may like it, but it's time to get to business. And obviously, the discipline is not there. So at least I will say the culture change, whatever. At least Schottenheimer is at least not just letting it continue. He at least is trying to do something about it. Even though I do not like the initial start, he's at least trying to do something to kind of slow it down, the lack of discipline, which will just cause a lot of penalties. Any thoughts, baby?
I mean, like I said, I'm actually a really big fan of this. I'm just saying, this is one of those weird things that has haunted us for a long ass time, right? Like, we tend to be a sloppy team. We tend to have a lot of dumb penalties. We tend to make a lot of those dumb mistakes. Like, even if we're probably going to still keep doing all that, at least we know Schottenheimer gives a fuck. That's it. It just, like I said, my expectations are 0 when it comes to pretty much everything.
I hear you. Good point. And Seabass made some good points in there too, because again, even though it's kind of
but I am a fan. Like I said to Seabass in the chat too, I'm a fan of the energy that he's bringing to this as well. Like it feels like a little bit more self accountability.
Definitely more energetic too than fat ass McCarthy walking around shaking and stays in the corner of the fucking field. He's involved.
The problem with this is the same as the other thing. Like I just said, it's self accountability. There has to be a little bit of accountability there in the first place in order for you to feel the hype or buy into it a little bit. Because if you don't give a shit, you're still not going to give a shit now.
I'm just saying, to me, it's just it's time to get serious. That's all. And I think that you can fuck around a little bit, but I just hope this stuff doesn't continue and continue and continue. I mean, you have Rowdy. Rowdy's our literal bad luck.
Mm.
Like the year we got Rowdy is the last we have never won a Super Bowl since. So you have him running with the players doing the fucking warm ups. I mean, maybe the players like it. I do not know any player that's a 22-year-old or higher or older that likes to run around with the mascot, getting in their way of their fucking drills in the hot. It's nice in Oxnard, but still in 1 o'clock heat. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to see fucking Rowdy jumping around for Jerry Jones in my drill. Like, this is just bothers me. And I'm not saying it's for Jerry Jones. I know it's the players or the coaches want it and all that stuff. And I like that the coaches ran the laps, ran those gassers. I like that part. I do like that part. And that's what I like about Schottenheimer. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. But the point is, he started off really lenient, maybe on purpose to see how far they'd go, to then drop the hammer on them. So he started, I think he kind of half dropped it day 2. He kind of dropped it after that fight, and let's see how it goes from here on out. Because, guys, there's a practice on Monday, and there's a scrimmage on Tuesday against the Rams. And that ain't going to be no two-hand touch. That's going to be real hitting. No Matthew Stafford, by the way, for that. He has a back issue. He's not going to play. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. So anyways, as I finish, guys, again, this is kind of the end of it. But I just wanted to say, going through this list, and again, going through these players, of course, Dak, they're making Dak do little things, try different things. I don't ever worry about interceptions from quarterbacks in preseason. I do like, though, what Joe Milton's been doing out there. Joe Milton III. I think that, you've seen some of the videos.
Yeah.
He looks crisp. He looks mobile. He looks, very strong arm. Any thoughts about Joe Milton?
I mean, I'm really excited. I like him so much better as a backup. And I think that, he's got a good arm. Physically, he can move a lot better.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the backup.
that's the thing.
Hopefully, we never have to see him on the field. I have to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I do think also, the mobility is great, but he also can fit into Dak's spot if needed.
Yes.
Like, it's not like Cooper Rush. You got to rearrange your fucking offense. So I like what I see.
Milton definitely feels like, we keep the same plan. We just have you executing it.
Yeah, Will Greer. I mean, we liked him too. He's all right. He's our third stringer. Not bad. I like our quarterbacks, right? And again, Joe Milton looks really good out there. Again, it's just don't take it too hard. We're gonna see him in preseason. That's where we're gonna see if we're gonna see like Trey Lance shit, or we're gonna see a real backup. So you look at that, and again, I know we talked about the running backs. That we got Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders. They're doing okay. Miles Sanders is really, everyone's kind of likes him a little more, I think, right now. But Jaden Blue is the guy I think is our future for this season. Sometime in this year, I think he'll be the guy that takes over more of that role. I know Phil Maffa, not really that much, more short yardage stuff. Of course, Hunter Lipke. Some people saying is looking good, but still fullback. Will we need that now? We don't have McCarthy anymore. Maybe Schottenheimer don't want a fullback, but I know he likes to run. Maybe he does want a fullback. Of course, Ferguson, Schoonmaker hanging in there. Brandon, what's his name? Brevin Spanford. He's solid as our number 3 right now. But, Princeton Fant caught a number of passes. What John Stevens Jones, John Stevens Jr., not John Stevens Jones, John Stevens Jr. dropped a lot of passes a couple of times. So I'm kind of looking at him as we got to see what number 49 can do. Receivers, I mean, come on. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, they are just looking like it's going to be hard to stop us. It's all about that offensive line. We got to get the offensive line, got to give them time, the quarterbacks. If we give this quarterback time and the play to develop, we have a threat that is almost unstoppable with our receiving core, in my opinion. You could throw in there Jalen Tolbert. He is currently our number 3, but don't overlook Kavontae Turpin, who I think will be a spot use player, and he looks great out there. The speed is crazy. He's making a lot of deep plays, Kavontae Turpin. I want to see more of him in offense. Also, Jonathan Mingo made a couple plays. Just keep an eye on him, number 81. Flournoy looked good with the backups. Cropper is okay. I will say one undrafted guy to keep an eye on, Trayshawn Holden, number 7. I know he's not going to be, if he makes the team, he won't be number 7. That's Trayvon Diggs. But Trayshawn Holden, Keep an eye on him. Made some nice touchdown catches, nice acrobatic catches, and all the passes seem to be coming from Joe Milton. Although I think the last day they put him with Dak. So very good job from Trayshawn Holden. He'll be moving up I think he'll move up this receiver depth chart. Jalen Brooks hanging in there, number 83. So we'll see. The most important part of this team really lies with the offensive line. And that's going to be with Cooper Beebe in the middle there. It looks like Booker's going to be the right guard, and hopefully Tyler Smith's going to be fine. He should be fine left guard. Terrence Steele will be back at right tackle, and Tyler Guyton supposedly going to be our left tackle, but with the injury, it looks more like Nate Thomas is looking like the best guy right now in that spot. But you got backups like, Rob Jones out, of course, and that Johnny Cornelius was kicked out, but he's a rookie. More importantly, is TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman, and Nate Thomas. Those are our three real backups we got to look at in preseason. Those are the names we're going to look at because we need that shirt up in case these guys either fail in the field or fail, in the sense of injuries. We need these guys on the field, backing these guys up. Solid backups there. Now, defensively, pass rush is going to be great. It's hard to tell a lot in preseason, but we don't know what's going to happen with Micah Parsons, so I guess that's a question mark there. But assuming Micah is on this field sometime this year, Micah and Dante Fowler right now is looking as the starter, and that just means on first down. With Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon, Donovan Escarazu, the rookie, Peyton Turner, these four guys will be this is a great rotation right there. These four backups behind Micah and someone like Dante Fowler. It could be Sam Williams and Dante could be the backup. My point is, we got 6 fucking solid pass rushers, I'm including Micah in there. So I love that group in there, all the way down to even our third stringers. Like, I think they can provide some in-game action. I like it. Inside, in the middle, that's going to be the big one. The middle of the pack with Mozzie Smith. Oh, boy. I don't like the Mozzie Smith situation. You can look at some of the videos. He looks a little bigger. He looks a little lazy.
Yeah.
He looks a little slow. He gets beat up a lot. And he got pushed. Again, Tyler Smith. It's Tyler Smith. But Tyler Smith pushed him 25 yards down the field with like one hand. That's a problem for me. A major problem. Hey, the man, Mark Hosepian in the house. Aloha. Much love to you, brother. Hey, maybe we go get to we need 12 more drops to get to the what do you call it? The raffle. I'm sorry, to hit the goal for the night.
Yes.
So I actually will put that back up because I know it ran out, but I will put it up for wherever it lasts so we can make sure it hits. But what did the man Mark Hosepian have to say, baby, as he makes his introduction today in the month of August?
He said,
here we go.
Miss you too.
Yes,
How's
sir.
Asha? And when are you on?
Great questions. Our schedule has changed here.
Mm-hmm.
We again try and do this. We've been doing it about once a month in the off season. Our schedules are really crazy, and now that the training camp's up, it's about once every 2 weeks. But we are going to go live at least twice a week or more during the season, and probably in preseason more as the preseason continues. Baby, you can handle the rest of the stuff there. I know our schedule's changing up, but what about the family?
Yeah.
Everything rolling good?
Asha is doing great. She's sleeping right here next to us. So
Yes. I am putting another goal up here just so we can try to hit the goal if it's possible. I don't want to have anybody, I want to make sure I get everybody a chance. And I did lower the how much were we at there? I'm sorry. We at
the goal?
Yeah, was it we had 8,
were
right?
8.
Yeah, so, basically 10 more would be good enough there. I'll just do that there and give everybody a chance to get in the raffle. That's the reason why. But I just want to make sure everyone gets a chance to get in the raffle since we're almost halfway there. So there's 10 more $5 or higher gets the raffle in. Everybody who's in the raffle gets in there. Anybody who gave names like John Luna gave half his away, you guys will be in there. Hopefully, in this last finale of the show, there's a little push coming. Who knows? And make sure you guys vote. Don't forget to vote on the Micah Parsons situation, which, by the way, baby, what was that number looking like? The Micah Parsons?
Give me a second. Let me refresh it here on my side. And we have 54 votes, and it is overwhelmingly leaning towards signing Micah, with 57% of the vote, 35% of the vote saying trade Micah ASAP, and 7% saying, just let Micah hold out.
Interesting. Hey, Mark Hosepian. the man. Marco stepping in the house. Well, let me get this right here. Let me get myself fixed up.
Okay.
The $5 holler. Again, he did have that. He did have the lead. He did have all these. He had the stream boss. Maybe he's back. I don't know. But he's knocking the NDN Boogie down to 78 points. What did the man say? All the way from Hawaii, repping that star.
He said, if Dak is worth the highest paid player 100% guaranteed contract, as per contract bullshit, Parsons, a true game changer, is worth what he asks. Jerry Jones is a dick.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah.
Mr. Mark Hovsepping.
Like, it's more than worth it.
It's great. I think a couple of years ago, I remember we had this discussion. I'm like, Jerry Jones will always do these things. And we've seen it happen with Dak, whether you like it or not. Trayvon, Zach Martin, of course, CeeDee Lamb last year as well. And now we have Micah. And look how the Cowboys keep fucking it up. We spoke about this earlier, Mark, but man, it is just the Cowboy front office doing dumb shit over and over again, really stopping themselves. And this has been the problem, literally consistently. It's been the problem from our front office, from our team, by our team. It's really annoying as fuck, honestly. And it sucks because, again, I personally think it's been soured a little bit, Mark. I think that the Cowboys will think about trading him. And I think it'd be more for next year because he's under contract right now. But I think that there's something inside of me that thinks that there's something different here because of his position. He gets triple teamed. He gets worn down. 5, 6, 7 years in the NFL is like you're not going to get much more from Micah after that. So that's my question to you guys. Like right now, this is year 5 of Micah? Is that year 5? This is year 5, I think. We got Micah coming here, year 5. You got 3 years left at most, and that's not even the best of Micah. That's the downhill of Micah, in my opinion. Maybe after this year, maybe after next year. It's kind of like Micah is going to suffer a little bit. Micah's going to downgrade a little bit. So, yeah, was that Mark? I'm saying, yeah. Hey, I think the Cowboys fucked it up. I think the Cowboys fucked up. The front office fucked up the deals and all that stuff. That's just my 2 cents there. I don't know. That's just me. Oh, there it is. It's weird. The first one did not hit. That's strange. It must have happened right after. But I'll count it, of course. If it goes 9, we'll count it. We can do that. But Mark Hovsepping once again, dropping that 5 on it. What did the man say?
He said, what's sick is Jerry Jones sits there with that smug smile, and he and Stevie pat each other on the back. Why piss off your player? Hold off and then pay more. It's just stupid.
Clown show. And where's the clown show?
Hong Kong.
They're right there. You see the people. This is Jerry Jones clown show. This is a new one here for you, Mark. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I cry. But yes, there you go. There it is. Unfortunately, they are the clown show, and that is the biggest issue on this team for the last 29 years. Actually, the last 32 years since 31 years since we fired Jimmy Johnson. We won another Super Bowl because of Jimmy Johnson, is leftovers. So yeah, that right there. This is what training camp feels to me. This is another reason why I've been a little bit. We could have probably pushed them in, gone hours and hours of talking about stuff. But Jerry Jones clown show, the circus, that pretty much wraps it. That pretty much wraps up training camp for me. I mean, that's how disappointing it's been for me. Now, I still, even with all those negatives, and me, I try my best to be, I say positive, but to look at all angles of things. So fuck these two. Actually, I should get these assholes off the screen. I can't. It bothers me even to see these two. So let's see us, true Cowboy fans. I wanted to continue with the kind of a little quick defensive kind of rundown because interior. I just talked about our edge rushers, and of course that's what Micah Parsons. We're going to be fan-fucking-tastic. The problem is interior. Now, Osa Odigizua is not scary, but Osa is solid. And the way that Eberflus is going to use him, supposedly, is going to be to all his strengths. In the pass game, in the run game, Osa is now $20 million. Now he has to step up and play $20 million worth. So I don't know if that's a great deal, but everything's going up. Every player's going up. Every position's going up. Oso Digizua's got to show up. He's got to show up this year with the Everflus offense. We got Marco Seppian with a 2 more. He said, I heard one of the rookie defensive tackles have taken over Mozzie. Oh, the man, Marco. Oh, man. Too bad it didn't hit the goal, but it did get the question across. Yes, I was just going to talk about that. When you look at the interior of our line, number one, and this is the thing I want to make sure we understand, Mozzie Smith is getting moved down the field. It's starting to remind me a little bit of Dontari Poe. Now, he was going up against Tyler Smith. So that is, but that means every good offensive lineman he goes up against is going to get pushed 25 yards down the fucking field. Like, no, that is not good because he does good against the shitty centers and the shitty interior offensive linemen. And you're going to get somebody who's halfway good and they're going to shove you with one arm down the field. You get Tyler Smith, he's going to just, you get a shove and you roll down the field. I'm just saying, like, that kind of shit. You can see the videos we posted. You see Mozzie Smith does not look good. Mozzie Smith is getting dominated out there. And by good players and by average players. So right now, Mozzie Smith, you got a rookie Jay Toia right behind him, but he's not really the guy that's making the. And again, another rookie, Tommy Aking Besote. He's a rookie, last pick of the draft. Both these rookies are guys that I think it could help out in the future or whatever. These are not guys for now, but they are space eaters. And by doing that, that might just be, as long as they don't move backwards, that's already better than Mozzie Smith. The guy I like, though. Now, there's other guys on this list here, Perrion Winfrey, who's looking good. I think at number 9. I think that's the guy you're talking about there, number 99. You got the guy from the Bahamas, Denzel Jackson. He'll make the team on the international list. Ernest Brown the fourth, Tampa Bay leftover. But the guy I like is formerly of the Jets. That guy's, he's a muscular, big guy, but he's not a space eater. He's a 3-tech more. He's behind Osa, but he has played a lot there at that nose tackle spot, and really as another defensive tackle, more than a nose tackle. So we'll have a lot of Osa and Solomon Thomas. Solomon Thomas, number 90. These two guys are playing a lot of sets. A lot of down and distance situations, you see both of them playing inside, not Mozzie. And that's especially on passing downs. You want those two guys in there. You do not want Mozzie anywhere near there. Unfortunately, that's not what we drafted the first round pick for to do. We drafted the first round pick to do that on all 3 downs. He's a major bust if he cannot do this on all 3 downs. I honestly, what I see, he can't do it on 1 fucking down. Just gonna say that. So Mozzie Smith, Solomon is gonna be. I think he's going to go down the depth chart behind guys. He might get the first snap of the game and be called the starter, but I don't think he's going to play too many snaps. I think Solomon Thomas, I think Jay Toia, I think these guys have a better chance to kind of get more snaps in there. I think Perrion Winfrey, he's a guy that was acquired in free agent leftovers. We got him. I think he's shown out a lot. Again, it's still watch number 99 in preseason, and we'll still talk about it. But let's see how these guys do. Mozzie Smith looking like shit. Roll it back to the linebackers real quick. Of course, Overshown's going to be out till after Thanksgiving. Trayvon Diggs says he's going to be back in September, probably after week 1 or 2. I'm sorry, I know why I say Trayvon Diggs. I shouldn't say that. I should say there's only really, Micah might jump back at linebacker. Overshown's out till the middle of the year, until the end of the year, really. Kenneth Murray, it was banged up at training camp practice, but he is going to be our starter. He's going to be the guy with the green dot. Jack Sandberg actually looks good out there too. Jack Sandberg from the Bears. But he's like a solid coverage guy, linebacker. But the guy I like, and I hope Marco Seppian's still here, it is Maurice Liufau, number 35. He has shown out. I just uploaded a video, I think earlier tonight. I think it was the last one before I went live. That shows that this guy plays with the number 1s, Maurice Liufau. He kind of reminds me of Palumalu, but at linebacker rather than safety. He flies around the field. He's always around the ball. He showed this last year, and I said, I like this guy. And he's doing it again. Imagine him when Overshown is ready to go as well. Man, him and Overshown are going to be flying all over the field. I'd say they're both a little undersized, but their heart and their honestly their nose for the ball it's really overshadows their smaller frames. So, and I say that smaller whether in size and weight, whatever it may be. The point is, when I see Maurice Foul going in there as dropping back in coverage, not punching the ball out of CD Lamb's hands with unbelievable timing. That's not something you are taught. That's something you just know. You are naturally talented, and that's where Maurice Foul. Mark, I said it last year. I said give him 1 year. It's definitely done him some good. I would not be surprised if he's starting. I know people laugh, but don't. But again, no Overshown. So you're gonna have Kenneth Murray Jr., the Eric Kendricks replacement. And who are you gonna bring in there? Jack Sandberg? Maybe. I'm gonna put my money on Maurice Foul. How you like them apples, guys? We'll see though. We got time. Watch for number 35. Number 57 is Jack Sanborn. He's a solid guy, but he's not gonna. We know his ceiling. We got other guys here, guys. Rookies like Shamar James, undrafted. We still have Damone Clark, who's had some good plays, but definitely going down. He's a third stringer right now. Buddy Johnson, more practice squad guy like Darius Harris as well, practice squad type guy. But again, you've seen the names that really matter: Kenneth Murray, Maurice Foul, Jack Sanborn, Damone Clark, and when Overshown gets back, Overshown, baby, back to the starting lineup there. So we'll be all right. Just gonna be some headaches in there, some ups and downs, but decent players. You get to the cornerbacks and the safeties. Trayvon Diggs, we talked about him already, and his backup is the rookie Savon Revell Jr. So both these guys may not even be; they won't be on the field week 1. So you have Deron Bland, obviously our best corner right now, and Kaiir Elam, who's had 4 interceptions in training camp. I think 3 of them against Dak, one against Milton. Either way, he goes against number ones. Kaiir Elam is we traded for him. You see him at the bottom of our list there of some of the guys that we drafted when we drafted them, and some of the trades, some of the picks we traded away, and we got players for them. You see those names down there too. So again, I like to show that because it does make a difference. And I do count some of these guys as our draft picks. Whether it is Joe Milton, we traded a pick away for. Well, he's our draft pick. He's our backup quarterback. You talk about, a guy like Kaiir Elam. We traded away a 6th rounder. Well, that was Kaiir Elam, our 6th rounder. Right there at the bottom, you see it right there. Traded away to Carolina, round 4. We traded that pick away. We got Jonathan Mingo. That's our receiver we traded for. Kurt. Technically, in my mind, that's what we got for that pick. What about that 5th round pick? Right? It was a comp pick. We traded that out to New England for Joe Milton III. And then you keep looking and you see we traded, we, of course, I think it's next year's pick. But again, we traded a lower pick and got Kaiir Elam. That's a steal in my opinion. And Kaiir Elam is playing very well. So I said this in our last stream 2 weeks ago, he needed to step up. If that man steps up, at least it takes a breathe, and we can breathe a little easier. And he has been stepping up. Now, can I trust him? It's been 2 weeks. But what if he wasn't stepping up? Then we can't trust. We already got problems. So at least he's going in the right direction. The man Marco Seppian in the house. He said, "How smart is JJ? We want to run, so we get 2 has-beens and invest a 5th and a 7th, invest a 5th and 7th at running back. Our defensive tackles blue. We face Saquon and we invest late rounders at defensive tackle. Unreal." And you can see at the bottom of your screen. The facts are there. And I say Shamar James. I'm sorry, I say he was undrafted. He's actually the 5th rounder there, but he's undersized. And so, the positions of need, the Cowboys seem to just overlook. They just say, we'll just, we can go with the undrafted guy at defensive tackle. We can go with these two with these 2 kind of broken veterans, an old Miles Sanders and not hurt, but oft injured Javonte Williams. I'm just saying, that is the front. That's not Dak. That's not Micah. That's not CD. That's not Trayvon. That's the front office. That's the fucking clown fucking show. The clown show. Fucking clown show. Anyways, but yeah, you see what I'm talking about, right, guys? I mean, this is literally all their fucking. This is literally why this keeps happening. What you're saying there, Marco Seppian, is that it's them. I'm telling you, so fucking frustrating. So frustrating. It is unreal. Jerry Jones is an idiot, and then he wants to like make his own best players mad. Whether it was Dak, CD, Trayvon, Micah, Zach Martin, on and on and on and on, like Donkey Kong. You know it. What's up, Thomas Garrett in the house? C Bass, yeah, I know. Yeah. Wait, who are you talking? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Oh, I see. Are you talking to C Bass? Are you talking to Oh hell yeah. Yeah, she does make more sense to me in the comments. I see skeptical fan in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing? And yes, no, I Seabass, we look, what I'm trying to say is that in my opinion, we have I know some people say we didn't do anything. We did get Pickens and we got some of these other guys, but to me it's more of the and I understand like that's where we made a big move on, but we had other chances to make big moves in other places. And the Cowboys either looked the other way, chose to reinforce maybe the wrong spot, don't respect the defensive tackle spot to fix it. You understand what I'm saying? So it just bothers me, you know. It bothers me that the Cowboy front office overlooks defensive tackle. They overlook the defensive tackle is not even on their radar. Mozzie Smith, they went on that one and they went on the one guy they picked. They decided to put on their radar is the wrong guy. It's just, you know, sucks. What are you gonna do, guys? I mean, listen, Seabass, I know it's upsetting, but I just don't. It's the same front office all the time. Yes, we make a trade, which was a great trade for I believe it was a great trade for George Pickens. And why do I say it's a great trade? Why do I say that the George Pickens trade was I already talked about this in the past, but I'll quickly mention it now. George Pickens is a great pickup because we traded away was it a third round pick, and we pick up a very cheap contract with $2 million, 3 million. I don't know, 2 million, 3 million. So we get a 1 year rental for $2 to $3 million. We give up a third round pick, which I hate that. But if he plays well in this offense, the offensive line can block for Dak. If Dak get the ball to his hands, and we've seen it happen in training camp. As far as even if Dak, even a little Dallas Cowboy, even if Dak throws a bad pass, Pickens has the height, he has the range, the mobility and athleticism to go get that ball wherever it's thrown. So he's bigger than CeeDee Lamb. So again, Pickens go up and get it wherever Dak throws it. Bad, he'll still make the catch. So Pickens gonna if Pickens has a good year with CD on the other side, guys like Cavante Turpin, Jalen Tolbert in the slot, guess what's gonna happen? And again, Dak healthy and enough on the offensive line, which is what scares me. That's the biggest issue. But enough on the offensive line protecting Dak Prescott to get the plays that are designed by this offense and get the ball down the field. Oh, we will do some damage. And that means Pickens does well. Okay. We have a good year, a bad year, but Pickens does well. Let's stick with the topic. Pickens goes to another team next year. We're not going to pay him $25 million a year. That's what he's going to ask for. So he goes to, I don't know, Cleveland. He goes to the Cleveland Browns, and then what happens? Compensatory pick the following draft, we get a third round pick. So we go from wherever we would have been in the third round next year in 2026. And in 2027, we get that pick back in the third round, maybe 10 spots later. So basically, we rent this guy for 1 year for cheap. Worst case scenario, he goes to, we're not going to sign him. So he goes to another team, and we get a third round pick back. That's the way I look at it. Marco Seppian dropping bombs. He dropped another 5 on it, and he said, we do this every year. We do some good, and moves like Pickens is good. Elam is good. But then we neglect the defensive tackle spot and running back. And we neglect Micah Parsons, number 11. I remember the draft in Henderson, and a number 2 way better than the G pick. The G pick. Oh, the guard pick, Booker. Yes, I hear you. I hear you. Henderson would have been a too high pick, I think. But yeah, Mark, if well, he had said, Mark said, trade that pick down, get a second rounder, and you could have got Henderson as our, full time running back for the next 4 years. Solid, no committee. Yeah, you get a one change of pace guy. You get Jaden Blue. You get Miles Sanders, but that's the change of pace guy, right? You got was it Trey Henderson was his name? Dominating. He was the best all around back in my opinion. Outside of who was the first guy picked in the first round? Anyways, but yeah, I hear what you're saying, and again, that's the thing. I think that we all agree on that there's some good and a lot of bad. A little bit of good and a lot of bad by the Cowboys front office. So Pickens is a win. And like I said, he's going to do good as a number 2. It's crazy. He's a number 2. He's going to do good in this offense. And he's going to do well when it comes to leaving this team and going to another team, which means we get a third round comp pick. End of the third round in 2027, we get our missing third round pick in 2026 back. That's what's going to happen. Now, unless he has an unbelievable connection with Dak, and it's like we have to have him to have Dak play this well. Then we sign Pickens. That's the only, and that's not going to happen. But that'd be the only possible way I can see that happening. So I agree with Marco Sepian's comment there, and I agree with Seabass as well. But it's a combination of things. There's good, and then there's bad with the front office, and they find ways to kind of fake feed us good shit. And they throw in a great move like the Pickens move, but then they throw in 5 bad moves. You want me to show you guys the offseason tracker? Now, of course, this was the latest one, the Pickens, but take them away for a second. You got Paris Campbell out for the year. Shepley backup. He's our own guy. Fowler, he's all right, but we had him already. Miles Sanders old. Mukwamu re-signed him. You have to play nickel for us. He's a safety / corner. Kenneth Murray just for 1 year. Sanborn probably just for 1 year. Kerry Elam. There's a chancy trade, but I like it. It's working out right now. Anger good. Peyton Turner, just depth rotation. Third stringer. Turpin good, but it's our own, of course. Solomon Thomas. I personally like that one more than most people. I think people realizing that he's a good player now, and it's good. But Rob Jones out for the year. Out for 2 to 3 months. Javonte Williams old. No, he's young. Actually, I like them. But that torn knee is scary to be a full-time running back, right? Trent Sieg, good, but he's special teams. Marquise Bell, good, but he's ours. Wanye Thomas, good, but he's ours. Wheat, backup. And Marquise Bell and Thomas are both backups at safety right now. Wheat's the back, third string practice squad guy there for edge rushers. Brock Hoffman, backup. CJ Goodwin, special teams ace. And Osa is the biggest name on this list of our own that we signed. And then, of course, outside of George Pickens, which is right there. So again, that's kind of my point. You see these names, and then you see some of the draft picks we made, like right here, and you see at the bottom all these 7th rounders. Now, Jay Toa and Tommy Akingbesote. If one of those 2 guys can take over from Mozzie, fuck it. It'd be a diamond in the rough, and the guys that play 1 or 2 downs, first down only, or first and only run downs, that's fine. A 7th round pick for that is fine, but a 1st round pick for that, like Mozzie, is bullshit. And that's where the front office, so far, not the greatest right now. Escorazo, I do like what he's doing. He's very, very athletic, a little undersized. Got to see him in a preseason game. Ravel still, we drafted an injured player. Can't be surprised he's not going to be ready till middle of the season. And then Jaden Blue, looking good, but is he overhyped again? Is he a bigger Deuce Vaughn? Is that going to be enough? So we'll have to see. Shamar James, a 4th string fucking linebacker for us. Johnny Cornelius got kicked out of practice for punching. I'm just saying, like you're seeing what we get in here, right? So, anyways, I like all our discussions. I like these discussions because we get to air all our thoughts in here. Thomas, I hope I answered your question, Thomas Garrett. The much better, superior Garrett. Remember? So, Seabass, yeah. Hope Sapien makes great points. Him and I have agreed and disagreed a lot, but realized that really we agree on most points. We agree on most points. We're just looking at it from a different angle, and you know what? I think that's what it is for most Cowboy fans. We agree on pretty much everything. We just see it from this angle, this angle, this angle, but we end up at the same place in the end. Even little Dallas Cowboy, you know. So, anyways, Seabass, yeah, Mark's on point. That's a great way of describing it. They find ways to make it difficult. It is. The Cowboys just seem to it's a consistent disaster. I don't know. I hate it. I hate the way the Cowboys handle, and I put this in air quotes, business. But it don't feel like business. It feels like they're playing games. Anyways, just finishing up, guys. And I know, listen, the wife had to take it. You know, she's got it much earlier day than I do. I might even still go live on After Dark and have some fun, but it'll be a short stream. Usually, after streams like this, it takes a lot out of me. So those streams, if I do any of them, it would be short. And I usually don't do them after a stream like this. So, uh, but just finishing up, guys, and I'm here to just kind of take the last couple comments, and then we'll call it a night. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to hit the goal. I think we need 6 more $5 drops. Because I know it says 3, but I saw Mark drop it, so that's 4 plus the 10 from before, the 8, whatever. So technically, 6 more drops, but I don't think I'm going to be able to talk. I think our discussions are pretty much over. But you guys, let me know if you have anything else. I'll try to hit up any comments or thoughts, and truly appreciate everybody hanging in here, hitting the like, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and all that good stuff that we do here. You guys do here. I see Galas from the After Dark Hours watching. He's always watching. Trust me, you ain't the only one, Galas. So, anyways, the cornerback situation, again, with our corners, the injured guys, I talked about Diggs and Ravel, but our starters, and that's my biggest question mark is going to be who's going to start for the cornerback spots for us. And I said, of course, Deron Bland. I was hoping Kair Elam could step up, and so far he has. So those are 2 corners. If you put Bland on the outside, who's your nickel? Who's your slot cornerback? And that's the big question. So to me, Marco Sepian's the slot guy. No, Marco Sepian drops the 5 on it. And those are 5 away, 5 fives on it to get to the goal. He said, He says, I bikini wax the cast of The View. I know how much you love The View, Mark. For Jerry Jones to do the right thing. It's a win-win for me. If we win, I'm happy as a 45-year fan. If not, I get to see JJ suck. Oh shit. I listen. There's every Cowboy fan pretty much will do almost anything, and I say almost anything because it's something we ain't doing, but almost anything to have Jerry Jones just give up the general manager role or just do the right thing or consult with somebody. So and you can look like a good general manager, but you have Howie Roseman telling you what you're doing, and then you just do it, and you can have him as your, what is that called? The anonymous GM, but it's more like your shadow GM. He's the real guy making it. Jerry Jones just the fucking puppet, signing the checks and making himself look good. That's what we need. That's what we need. That's what we need for the Cowboys. Yeah. Outside of that, it's just gonna. You know what's gonna happen when Jerry Jones dies? The other fucking clown's gonna take over, Stephen Jones. And guess what's gonna continue? Bum bum ba ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba. Yeah, it fucking sucks. I hate it more or as much as all the rest of the Cowboy fans here. I hate it. Mark's the man. And by the way, right up here, 56 points on the stream, boss. For NDN Boogie, who boogies on to the 5-6. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, is that not, it used to be Dante Fowler's number, but now it's changed. Now 56, I don't even know who has 56 anymore, to be honest with you guys. So, can't even say anything about that. But I'm finishing this here with the cornerbacks. And again, that's one of the positions that really scared me. But Kair Elam kind of saved us for the first couple of weeks. So after a couple of weeks, we get Trayvon Diggs back. So now you got Bland going back to slot, to the nickel cornerback spot. Kair Elam is the right side, Trayvon Diggs on the left side. And that, my friends, is the best we can ask for our cornerback situation, the starters. But that's not going to be week 1. Week 1 is going to be Kair Elam, Deron Bland, and I'm not going to would nothing happens between now and then. It'll be those 2 guys. And then the question is, where do they play? Well, Kair Elam plays outside. He can't play the slot. Bland can do both. So that's the good thing about Bland. He can do both. He's versatile in that way. But his best abilities are inside. I would love to get another outside cornerback, but there's nobody there. Andrew Booth? Fuck no. That guy's getting burned. He got burned last year, day 1, and he's getting burned now. So hell no to Andrew Booth. I'm going to say, hell, listen, Josh Butler is okay, but the guy's not going to be back till the middle of the year. And he's still banged up, and he's still got a torn ACL. He's not going to be back soon enough. Kalen Carson, he's out. We just talked about this. What is it, 4 to 6 weeks? So Kalen Carson with a hyperextended knee, cornerback, out. These are the guys on the depth chart. We're in trouble here, guys. So the last guy, I'm hanging on. I'm falling off. And this is what Marco Sepien says. Speaking of Marco Sepien, there's a $2 holler there to make you holler. Does not hit the bullseye, unfortunately, but it does hit the I kiss Rosie O'Donnell for JJ to do the right thing. You know what? I think 99% of the Cowboy fan base would literally kiss Rosie O'Donnell to do the right thing, and hopefully that leads to a Super Bowl, right? So I hear you, Mark. Trust me, the frustration can't be, you know, overstated. It's we feel the pain, you feel the pain. It fucking sucks across the board, brother. Appreciate you. By the way, I don't know if I said this before, but I did want to make sure I shout out Skeptical fan who dropped a little $2 holler. It didn't hit the board because I think it has to be over two, or if it comes with if it's a super sticker or whatever, it doesn't show up on here. But we know it dropped. So much love to you, Skeptical fan. Always staying skeptical, and he is currently the Cash App leader. I gotta say, Indian Boogie is currently the gifting membership leader with one. He gifted it to Seabass, and right now leading the whole thing. And it's not up to date, but it's a close battle here between John Luna, Calvin Richard, and Marco Sapien for the top spot right now. We'll see who wins it, but we know who the sponsor of the quarter is, and that's Marco Sapien. He's holding on to that. And of course, skeptical fan, even though he is he's currently maybe going to give up his crown to NDM Boogie when it comes to gifting memberships. He is in the lead currently, skeptical fan, with, I think, what is it, 12? 12 in the Cash App. So shout outs to the Cash App leader and the king, Cat 52 in the house. Much love to everybody here watching, supporting, watching the replay, commenting in the chat, or commenting down below if you're watching this in the replay. Remember, haven't got a lot. These are 2.5 hour streams because, or 3 hour streams because we haven't done a stream in like 2 weeks. So we appreciate you guys being patient and riding with us here. So, anyways. Much love to Mr. Marco Seppi, who said, aloha and good night, everyone. Peace out, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, you made a run at the thing. We got five teal hits left, so to speak, or teal, I guess green. 5 hits left, and it would have hit the raffle entries for everybody, but it's okay. It happens. I think last time we came up short, but the time before that, everyone came through. So it happens, and it's all good. But I do appreciate those that did drop the love tonight and get the names on there. Try to get the names of people on here. Shout outs to John Luna, Calvin Richard, Marco Sepien. You guys are the guys that built basically 15 out of the 20 hits on the goal for the night. So shout outs to you guys. Shout out to Skeptical Fan in the Cash App. Shout outs to NDM Boogie gifting the membership. Shout outs to Skeptical Fan. Not just the Cash App, I'm sorry, but also in here, in the house. So big thank you to him and everybody else who's been watching, him that like, subscribing, the bell to all videos and all that good stuff. Yes, Mark is the man's, and you guys are all awesome. So take care as well. I'm going to just look at one last part of our team, which is our safety position. And that is, the same as last year pretty much. And I'm not ecstatic and jumping head over heels over this, but it's good enough. It's 2 solid safeties there with Malik Hooker at free safety and Donovan Wilson at strong safety. They could also switch those roles. But really, Donovan Wilson's a good hitter. He covers underneath. Sometimes he blitzes, sometimes he goes after the run. So he will help the run game as well, even as our strong safety coming down and playing on the line of scrimmage. So, those are just boring names because they're just the guys that have been basically starting for the last 2 or 3 years. The backups are the bigger deal to me, and we have a good crop of safeties, starting with Wanye Thomas, Marquise Bell. Right there, boom, boom. You got backups, just like that. And then a guy who's doing great this training camp and just keeps building every year, 6'5", Israel Mukuamu, who is, interesting player because he played cornerback in college on the outside. But now he's playing safety and playing slot nickel cornerback in the inside at corner. So right now I'm hearing he's the front runner with one other guy, undrafted Keemon Hall from last year. Keemon Hall, number 43, who got a little scuffle with CeeDee Lamb in our fourth, fifth day of practice. But Keemon Hall, number 43, and Israel Mukwamu, number 24. Those are our two best bets week one to start in the nickel slot cornerback spot for the Cowboys with Bland on the outside and Kaiir Elam on the other side. Now, when we get Diggs back, it'll be Diggs on the outside, Kaiir Elam on the other side, and Bland as our nickel cornerback. That would be the strongest starting three. But I'm talking about Mukwamu for the reason because he will have to probably play, him or Keeman Hall will have to play that slot nickel cornerback. But since we're talking about safety, Mukwamu still can play safety. He's listed as a safety and can still play strong safety. Like I said, he's listed as a backup behind Wanye Thomas, Marquise Bell. There's also an undrafted free agent like Elijah Clark, who's a rookie. Same thing with Mike Smith and Zion Childress, one-handed interceptions. He's doing those as well. So again, these guys, some of these guys will make the practice squad. But at safety, we are solid, I think, at safety, from starters to backups to even a third stringer. So we're good at safety. We're good at we're good at some depth stuff on defense. Pass rushing. Put Micah in there, please. We'll be good there. But defensive nose tackle, we're in trouble. Some of the depth right now, I think at linebacker could be an issue because of Overshow not being there. But really, cornerback is the biggest issue across the board, starting and depth right now. So that hopefully be figured out. Special teams, pretty simple, guys. Brian Anger is our punter. Doing great, Pro Bowl punter. Brandon Aubrey is our kicker. Maybe we'll be the best kicker of all time when he's done. Who knows? But he is our kicker right now, and he's set records already in the 2 years he's been in the NFL with the Cowboys. And Trent Sieg, who's our long snapper, has, knock on wood, hasn't had a bad snap in his career. And then, of course, the kick returners, kickoff specialist, of course, Brandon Aubrey. But the kickoff returner is, of course, number 9, Cavante Turpin. And our punt returner is also Cavante Turpin. So Turpin doing the deal there, even with the arrest and the weed and the gun. We talked about that already in the last stream. But yeah, all that stuff, he's still our starting high quality, high value kickoff and punt returner. And of course, now a 3, 4, 5 receiver, going to get a lot more usage wherever he's at. The backup at punt returns to Cavante Turpin is Deuce Vaughn and Jaden Blue. And behind kick returns for Turpin is Wanye Thomas and Jaden Blue. So again, Cowboys, we have our special teams pretty locked up and solid right there as far as I'm concerned. So good to go as far as the Cowboys on special teams. Now, for the practice guys, again, they're off today, but tomorrow is going to be a regular practice. So get your eyes open for some uploads and some video clips from MyCowboysFamily. A bigger day is the 5th of August. I might even be able to squeeze in a stream or something. We'll see what happens, but it'll be just a video situation probably for that scrimmage against the Rams on August 5th. They're off on the 6th. There's basically 2 more practices, guys, for the Cowboys, the 7th and the 8th. And then on the 9th, on Saturday night, game 1 at the Rams, game 1 of preseason for the Dallas Cowboys, which will be definitely live on the 9th of August. Today's the 3rd. We'll be live on the 9th of August for that preseason game at the latest. Then the Cowboys get 2 days off, back to practice in Oxnard on the 12th and 13th. 2 days off, and then game time back home in Dallas. Game 2 preseason against the Ravens. And then the Cowboys, I think they practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, open practices in Dallas. And then August 22nd is their last preseason game, game 3, at home against the Falcons. And that's the Cowboys' preseason / training camp schedule. After that, it's cut down day. Everyone gets cut in one day. Remember, it's not a progression now. Everyone gets cut on one day. And then after rosters get solidified 2 days later, we got about a week before Cowboys-Eagles. Game 1 of the 2025 NFL season. Let's go, Cowboys. I love it. I can't wait. Can't wait. As what's his name said, Bart Scott, that schmuck. Fuck him. Anyways, oh shit, guys, thank you all for making this, as always, a great stream. I enjoy it. The wife enjoys it. We just got to do these lives late. And again, a little more limited, unfortunately, because of work schedule situations for the wife and myself. But either way, um, we, I have insomnia, so I might do one of these once in a while just by myself. And sometimes you'll see me on MCF After Dark. You know what I'm saying? So go and check that out. If you know, you know, but I don't advertise it. You just got to find it. And if you know what I mean, then you're there and you're subscribed. If you're not, then you know. But if you do find it, make sure you subscribe to MCF After Dark, MCF After Dark 2, and MCF After Dark 3. All three channels. Trust me, it's not football. It's more, can you handle it? If you can handle it, then we're good. Then you guys will like it. But there's politics, there's all kinds of shit, and there's panels, there's craziness. Seabass knows. So let me see the chat as I say goodnight to everybody and say thank you to everybody. Little Dallas Cowboys, Seabass, Skeptical Fan, Mark Hosepian, John Luna, uh, who else? Calvin Richard, Indian Boogie, Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett. Who else did I miss? Did I miss anybody else here? Good. I see Godless Manitoban. Motor City Maniac. Look, he's saying 2026 first round pick. 2020. No, it's going to be 2 first rounders only, Motor. That's all we're doing. 2 first rounders. And then we can start talking. No, bring back Romo, little Dallas Cowboy. This is way too long for him, too late for him. Azteca Aguilar in the house. He's going to be at that Rams game on Saturday, August 9th, kicking it off. Take over SoFi as usual. Hell yeah. And go Cowboys. Much love to you, Azteca. That's awesome. Lance going to dance on you, says Azteca Aguilar. Well, I don't know, but that's the Chargers that got Trey Lance now. Um, yeah, Trey Lance trash. So Little Dallas Cowboy said, "What's your pre-score for the Eagles?" I'll wait till we get too closer to week 1. But you know, right now it's just I don't even know what the Cowboys are yet. You know, the Eagles are good, so probably the Eagles going to win. But I like this game, even if the Cowboys lose against the Eagles week 1. You know what I like? The test. I want the test. I want to see where we're at. The Eagles will not beat us. You know, they're not going to crush us. So if we even hang in with them, that's a confidence boost for the Cowboys. If they beat us 30-3, well, we're gonna have a shitty season. But that's not gonna happen. Trust me. Unless someone gets hurt, then I can't talk about it. If that gets hurt, I can't. Anything can happen. But the truth of it, it's gonna be a close game. It always is. And I truly think the Cowboys can beat the Eagles. Yeah, I said it. But I'm not. I don't know. If we beat the Eagles, it'd be like. I think it'll be something like 23-21. Cowboys win with Aubrey last second field goal, or the Eagles win is probably going to be like 31-21. There you go. You like that? There you go. I give you my best. Seabass, the man, Seabass. And by the way, if you ever want to get back in the over everything level and jump on the show and all that stuff, there is you can, even if you're in the membership in the Navy, you can still upgrade yourself to the and again, big shout outs to Indian Boogie getting you in the membership again. Appreciate him and appreciate you. Congrats to Seabass. But yeah, if you ever want to move up, you can, just because you're in membership, you can still move up and get better chances to win stuff in the raffles and all that stuff. You want to do over everything and jump on panel on this channel's panel. There's always that as well. So we'll see what happens. But Indian Boogie, the man, got you in there. Shout outs to him. Everybody who dropped the love. Skeptical Fan, John Luna, Calvin Richard, Indian Boogie, and the man Mark Hosepian. Thank you all. Shout outs to Mark Hosepian, the sponsor of the quarter. Of the quarter here. And Indian Boogie, who's got 54 points on the stream, boss. Shout outs to Skeptical Fan, who is currently the gifting champion. Yes, sir. Thank you. The man always staying skeptical. And big shout outs to the Cash App King, Cat 52. Big shout outs to Cat 52. But we also have to tell you who's leading right now. And John Luna, I think he's still leading, but it's a battle between John Luna, Marco Sepian, and Calvin Richards. So I'll do the numbers and figure it out. Next time we go live, at the latest, it'll be Saturday night against the Rams. You'll see the updated leaderboard and all the numbers and places where everyone should be. So shout outs to John Luna. I think he's still leading. And shout outs to Indian Boogie, who is leading in the gifting membership side. Tonight he gifted 1 membership. You can only do that when you're in the membership side of things. But the leader right now, who did it a couple days ago, in the Cash App, is Skeptical Fan, who's trying to maybe shift championship belts. You see him up there, the gifting champion Skeptical Fan. He may be going, he's the gifting, right now he is the Cash App leader. Shout out to him. And shout outs to everybody being here. Thank you all. We're getting the hell out of here now. It may be an after dark, maybe not. Either way, subscribe. See you all later. Thank you all for doing your thing here and repping that star for everything. The wife, she would be here saying this with me right now. But guys, you know why we do this each and every night here on this channel. No matter what and forever. Why do we do this? It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything, guys. Yes, I'm going to say this. We are officially in our 10th year, but we've done 9 full seasons. 9 full years on YouTube on My Cowboys Family. And we're in our 10th year, but technically we are currently in our 10th season of doing this. So, because when we started, it was the beginning of the season, but it was 0 years. You get me? So, anyways, the point is, I think we've been doing this 9 years. 10 years we've been doing this every season. And we're doing it once again. Appreciate the family. Been here from day one, or just subscribe today. Thank you all. But as always, guys, win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, here on this channel, here in My Cowboys Family, we always rep that star over everything. Over Jerry Jones' ass, over the worst of the Cowboys, and over the best, over the Tom Landrys and Roger Staubachs and Emmitt Smiths, my favorite player. Over all those guys, we rep that star over everything. And here, on this channel here, for, like I said, 9 to 10 years on YouTube. Never forget the number one thing, here, now, and forever. As always, we're Cowboys! Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's get that 6 and beyond. What will it be this year? Probably not. Anyways, guys, thank you all. On the way out, hit that like if you haven't yet. And as always, before we can officially drop out and clock out, you guys have been awesome, dropping the knowledge in the chat. Truly humbled and appreciative of those dropping the love from above. But now it is time to drop out. Until Saturday night, when we get the cameras on, the wife and I in front of the screen, and we break down first quarter to the fourth quarter of that first preseason game against the Rams. Before we can officially drop out of here for tonight and relock and reload for some more, you know what we got to do. Before we can drop out of here for the night, what do we got to do? We got to drop the beat. Oh, hell yeah. You guys, thank you for being here with us once again. You could be anywhere on YouTube. We had 30 people here tonight chilling with us, just relaxing, maxing, talking about the Dallas Cowboys and their reactions about all the shit that went down the last 2 weeks. So thank you. You could be anywhere. You're here with us. So appreciative of you guys with the Cowboy news, info, and updates right here on My Cowboys Family. And you know we talked about it all tonight for the last 12 days. Unfortunately, these training camp updates come with a lot of negatives, injuries, some disappointments, some nice things, some cool things, some good things to see. But unfortunately, disrespect from Jerry to Micah Parsons, and maybe ruining and kicking out maybe the best player in the league as pass rusher right here, Micah Parsons. We'll see what happens. Maybe the best defensive player in the league. I don't know. But Jerry Jones, he's going to do it his way, even if it means we lose. Here on this channel, fuck Jerry. And here on this channel, it's always about that navy blue, that silver too, and that beautiful star for everything. Never forget the number one thing right here, My Cowboys Family. You guys in the house, keep this thing going. Thank you all for your love and support. Hit that like button for the stream. Hit subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell and put it on to all videos so you don't miss any time we go live or drop a video, whatever. And check out the shorts. Every day is like 4 or 5 short videos drop, so check them out too. Follow us on Discord or join the Discord on My Cowboys Family. Follow us on Twitter, X, and all that stuff at My Cowboys Family. Everybody watching right now on the replay, comment down below, hit the like button. Thank you all. And as always, stay safe and never ever forget Cowboys!
Monk on the beat.